Good evening, everybody. Not just from my channel, but from Jamie's Football Chats. Well, I mean Liverpool, but it's not beneficial if you're in front of me. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the weekly steel chair for your WrestleMania 40 preview show. Ailey's not available tonight. She's at her brother's birthday, so many happy returns to himself. Hopefully, he has a great birthday. 40, quite a mad coincidence, but in circumstance, I do have a surprise for the show. So if you follow me on Twitter, you might see it, you might not. But in circumstance, we're going to dive into it. So we've got a few people in the chat. Obviously, she's my football sister from another mister. Rach, good to see you. Hope you're well. We've got Daz as well from Jamie's chat, and then obviously, it's not Greg's. It's the other Yin. I don't know the older brother's name. I think that's quite harsh. But that's not my fault. I only know Greg, and Greg's a good nutter. He's a good nutter. I like Greg. He's sound. Jamie, I've not seen you since the Rumble, mate. But how you doing? Welcome back to the channel, and you're streaming from your channel as well. So get your numbers first, and I hope you enjoy the stream with me tonight.
Yeah, man. I mean, I'm going to enjoy it, man. It's going to be a good time, no doubt, no doubt. I'm looking forward to it.
Absolutely. You've been busy with content lately for Liverpool and all that.
Yeah, non-stop, man. And just being a dad and a husband at the same time as well.
Good man. Good
It's all
man.
go. It's all go.
He's got his priorities. He's got his priorities.
Yeah.
Shout out,
Football,
actually.
mate.
Exactly. Shout out to Tyler Peters. Hello. The reason I'm shouting this guy out is he's also another wrestling content creator. He has invited me onto his channel, so I'll be with him in June. Funnily enough, just before Money in the Bank. I wish it's not. It's literally just before Clash at the Castle. So I'll be on there. Check him out. Tyler, drop your link in the channel. If not, just send me the channel name and I'll drop it because it's actually good to get content out there. Danny, hello, good to see you. Well, WrestleMania's in full swing, or is it? And adrenaline and muscle in all caps. I'm going to actually ask about that. Funnily enough, tonight, I'm actually going to ask you about that tonight. But now, Ailey's not here tonight, as you can tell. Michael Awesome, good to see you as well, my man. Good to see you. Malo, all the way from fucking Canada. Beat the Americans at football for me if you get a chance, which is highly unlikely unless Alfonso Davies turns up. Sorry, man, I have to put that in there. Ailey's not with us tonight, but she has actually sent me I said to Malo because I genuinely thought it was. She sent me 4 separate prediction videos for all the matches tonight. And I'm actually going to give Ailey our flowers. Like, Ailey's been on this channel. This channel is approaching its 3rd year in November. Ailey's been on the channel for 2 years now, 2.5 years. So Ailey getting her full flowers. We are going to watch all 4 videos in one. Obviously, when we'll do our predictions, of course, we're going to do that. We're going to give a full segment to Ailey. It's about 10, 11 minutes. Because I think it's fair. She's taking the time out of her day where she's at her brother's birthday. She's not available. We're going to shut the fuck up. She's going to get her segment. So right now it's 8:10. We'll probably do that about 9 o'clock because we're going to be here a good few hours, and we're also going to bounce off Ailey's predictions as well, one by one. So we're actually going to do that as well. So giving Ailey the full moment of that. So we're just going to dive in it. So the first thing we may as well just ask is, WrestleMania season has been divided this year, in my opinion. I think recent circumstance, I think you'll know because you're just as active as I am on social media, dude. We don't miss things. When you look at it in a nutshell, there's been a lot that's come out recently. Big names in the business, big content creators have made a lot of decisions lately, maybe in hindsight, but have really worked it in an old-fashioned way. I'm not a fan of Eric Bischoff, but that's because of his TNA run. Bastard. But he genuinely, however, pulled a fast one this week using his social media platform. Daz, great question. I've starred that. We're going to come to that in the next 5 minutes because I just want to ask Jamie one question and the live chat as well. Give me your thoughts on this. Have you enjoyed the build-up to WrestleMania as a whole, or have you enjoyed just a build-up of certain aspects? For me, I've only enjoyed the build-up for one particular match or maybe two matches. But right now, the most consistent build-up that I've enjoyed is just Drew McIntyre on his own. Now, everyone knows I love The Rock. He was my hero growing up. But Drew McIntyre has been the best thing in WWE right now. I'm sorry, but he is. His work is outstanding, and his use of social media is incredible. So, Jamie, what's your overall thoughts right now about build-up? What are you most likely? Actually, no, most likely is wrong. What are you looking forward to the most going into WrestleMania? And just where are you on a scale of 1 to 10 right now? Where are you?
I'm probably at 9. I ain't gonna lie.
Why?
I'm pumped for Mania. I'm an old head, so I've watched
You are.
so many of the live Manias now. So I'm always pumped for Mania. I'm pumped for when I know it's Mania season. I don't even know the card yet. Royal Rumble
Yeah.
starts. Christmas is finished. I know, right? Mania seasons are upon us, and and the last few years has been a bit crap because a certain old man just, less we said better. But
Yep.
I think a lot has changed this last 12 months, and especially in WWE, and it's got a lot better. There's no doubt about it, like TV and everything is a lot better now. But I'm excited for Mania. I'm really pumped for it. I think there's some quality matches on show. The build
Yep.
for them all might not be the greatest, but I've got a feeling we're going to see some extraordinary matches this weekend. Some great stories being told out there as well. Obviously, look, everything considering, I think what you said there as well, Drew's done an amazing job. He's been hilarious. He's been fascinating. That segment the other week with him and Punk and Rollins was just fantastic TV. The bit the other day at the funeral home, it's just what he's doing is fantastic, and and what obviously the Rock and the Cody Rhodes stuff and all the
Yep.
bloodline stuff. Since I say since the WrestleMania thing they did in Vegas, since they did that,
Yep.
yeah, the press conference, it's been kicking off highly. They've got all their ducks in order, and it's like every Mania. Look, Mania is built around your main event, and that's how it should be.
Always.
That's how it
Always.
should be because that's the catch. That's what you want to go and see. So, and then you build everything in between. But I'm pumped, man. I'm well looking forward to it. Sammy Gunther could be the match of the weekend. It's
Yep.
so much to look forward to, man. There's loads.
Absolutely. Shout out as well. Everybody on this channel knows just how much I've watched wrestling, like how much I love wrestling. I've been a wrestling fan since 1999. I'll be specific, actually. April 30th, 1999, because it was just after Backlash. So there you go. I'll be very specific in terms of like timing. One company in particular I enjoy the most is TNA, because TNA for years has been, it's had moments where it's genuinely been horrible. As a fan, I'll admit that, but it consistently delivers moments or a stark reminder to what's being done. So I'm going to give a shout out to Jeremy Borash. Jeremy Borash, of course, was helped on networking. He was also the lead announcer, not lead announcer, sorry, yeah, exactly, lead announcer for years. The Drew McIntyre segment on Raw in the funeral area was the exact same location used for the TNA segment when the Aces and Eights faction was killed off. It's the exact same it's the exact same setting, and it's the exact same layout. So shout out to Jeremy Borash for suggesting that location as well. So there we go. I just wanted to get that shout out there.
I like TNA. I like TNA.
Yeah. Some people don't, which is cool.
I think TNA is cool, man. Do you know why I think people don't like TNA is because TNA's got a close working relationship with WWE.
I don't care who they work with.
I think that's why a lot of people don't like. I prefer TNA to AEW. I'm going to put that out right now.
I don't care who they work with.
Yeah.
I just want Anthem, who owns it, to pull their finger out and just invest in long-term contracts so they don't lose talent and just make the production better. But that's my personal opinion, and that's the last I'm going to say on it because again, this is WrestleMania. But I wanted to give a special shout out.
No, you should.
There is 22 people watching. We're 10 minutes in. Thank you very much. If you're watching on X, if you're watching on Twitch, YouTube, whatever, come on over anyway to YouTube, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to Jamie's channel as well. And then after that, if you want to go back to the platform of your choice, feel free. Do whatever the heck you want. Again, we're going to do that. I do have the matches, obviously, on card. We are going to run through it. Again, I hate Wikipedia. You should all realistically hate Wikipedia. But we're just going to use that following because it's easier to flow through and I can share the screen. So we're going to dive in. And I do have questions and comments starred. We'll be coming to them very shortly. We're going to preview 2 matches first. Then we're going to come to questions and some general comments. So just keep them coming. Just keep them coming. Ravi, very good question. I've started that as well. 1 second. And I also forgot. Wait for it. We need night driving. This is a channel for night driving. You're on the road to WrestleMania. You deserve to be in a very relaxing state of talking wrestling. Which is unfortunate because now I have to talk about Becky Lynch. But let's do this. So, this is actually, you know how I said earlier on about WrestleMania build? It's been quite slow. It's not been particularly intriguing, and then it kicks off a little bit.
Yep.
This is exactly one of those situations. This is a match that actually, from what I've seen as a discourse, nobody wanted this. They wanted one half. Mm-hmm. A lot of people I know respectfully, wanted at least one half in this match. They wanted Rhea Ripley. They did not want Becky Lynch anywhere near this match. Because, again, the reason for her getting this match is genuinely stupid. I need to prove myself. I need to prove I'm one of the best. I need to prove all this. You've had more women's title reigns than most apart from Charlotte Flair. Dude, just stop waffling rubbish. Just be honest. You're washed. And also very hypocritical, but less said than that the better, because then I'll get Becky Lynch fans coming after me and they're all nut jobs. But last week, however, on Raw, it really kicked off. I've been liking the involvement of the MMA Hour going across into mainstream media. It has been exciting in that way. Keep your comments in. Lovely question by Connor. I'm going to get that in a moment. Where's your mind at for this match? Obviously, not just the prediction in general, but where are you in terms of the build? Because it's the use of social media is where this match has really kicked itself off, and you saw some energy this week. Where's your mind at for this one, dude?
Yeah, it's taken a while to get going, but the last 2 weeks has really, kicked on. I think their promos have been very good. The reasons why they want this match. For me, this is the match I wanted for Rhea this Mania, Becky. I think this is going to be a great match. I actually think this could be up there with the women's match against, like Charlotte and Rhea last year was fantastic. Had zero build, and then the match was
none.
It had no build, and the match was out of this world. It was a tremendous match. I think this has got a potential to be a match equally as good as that. I don't think Becky's as good as Charlotte in the ring when it comes to being. I think Charlotte goes through stages where she can't be bothered and it tells, but when it's the big time, big match, Charlotte always performs. And I'm yet to actually see Becky perform at the highest level of I've seen Becky main event Mania, I think twice now, or once, or whatever it was. No, she main evented SummerSlam, main evented Mania, and she was shocking. So, but she's in there with the best woman in the company at the moment in Rhea Ripley, who's got, everything about her, her production, her look, the way she is, her wrestler. She's great. So, this is going to be a great match. But Becky ain't winning. I'd be mad. Why would you let Rhea lose this match? It don't make no sense.
Yeah, I think you're completely spot on by that, and this is why I'm adding to the circumstance of of this match itself. Is I think theoretically her title reign should only be ended by one of two people, and Becky Lynch isn't even one of those for me. No. And for me, her manner of question, because obviously she's on a different brand, but I think the only two people that should actually theoretically end Rhea Ripley's reign is either a Jade Cargill or Bianca Belair. Yeah. Now, I think I've said it consistently on this show. I think Bianca Belair is extremely talented. She is.
Just boring.
She's a bit bland.
Yeah.
And she's massively over-pushed. But I like the fact that they've reined her in a little bit recently. They've reined her in. They've put in a match where...
They gave her an edge. They gave her an edge.
Yeah. And I've said it consistently as well, that she, like, her gimmick alone is a heel gimmick. You can't call yourself the fastest, the quickest, the strongest, and all that shit. You can't say that and be a babyface.
No.
Like,
no.
That's overly cocky.
Yeah.
You cannot be a babyface if you're saying all that shit about yourself, because that's extreme level of narcissism. If you are that, you have to be a heel. If she just says she's great, then that's fine. But everything you're attaching yourself to with the extra of EST, you're definitely not a freaking babyface. You're not. And Connor the Red, spot on, fella. She needs a heel turn. Absolutely. Get your predictions in, guys. I'm going to take them one by one. Get them in. This is a great comment. I can see them doing a double turn this with Bucky. Love that. With Bucky, I'm going to call her Bucky Lynch for the rest of the stream. With Bucky Lynch stealing, and then Rhea wins it back as a babyface at SummerSlam. Could you see that?
I just don't see the point of taking the belt off Rhea right now. I think the whole Judgment Day thing is going to split up after the Monday. I think Monday, the Raw after Mania will be a proper Raw after Mania this year. And I think we're going to see a load of different things happening on that Raw. And I think Judgment Day will go completely fold. Rhea don't need Judgment Day. She doesn't need it. She doesn't need it.
If you remember my prediction as well, I said that Dominic Mysterio would at some point take over like the LWO. He's now going for Phantasma. I'm pretty much 50-50. So we're already there. Again, we've got a blast of skyrocketing numbers right now. So I'm like, this is my biggest. I wish Ailey was here. I really do. Oh, please no, Becky winning will ruin Mania for me. No, what will ruin WrestleMania for you is if Cody wins, and you know why. Because our group chat would literally set you off, and I know you can handle it. Honestly, it'll be absolutely funny. Daz, your question in particular, I will be coming to first, even though there's an order of questions. Your one in particular really is important because it ties in both nights. So Daz has gone Becky, is his prediction. I'm assuming, dude, you are full on. You're going Rhea Ripley.
Oh, yeah. Rhea Ripley's going to be the face in this match as well, by the way. The fans love her.
Oh, yeah.
The fans love her.
And I want to bring something up. This is something that's really intriguing. Is Becky's done a lot of bitching lately about. I need to bring this obviously because who hits a back button on their fucking mouse? Certainly me, by mistake. Becky recently has done a lot of bitching regarding how Rhea presents herself online. Now, Rhea Ripley is no beaten kebab merchant. She is no beaten kebab merchant. She completely understands social media. She completely understands herself. She admitted herself on Impulsive that she's got two split sides to her personality. She's got that quiet, reserved side that's all chilled. And then she's got the freaky side. Freaky as fuck. Full on. I applaud that.
Yeah,
of course, and obviously Becky Lynch takes offence to that by having a go about her doing the stink face. Now, I've not seen her once call out Rikishi. I've not seen her once call out Tori Wilson. I've not seen her call out Alita. I've not seen her call out Trish Stratus. Or even a Beth Phoenix. Or even a fucking Natalia 5 years ago. Freaky fuck. But she'll call out Rhea Ripley when, I'm sorry, but in your book you were talking about your husband in such an erotic manner and you were posting pictures about with fake title belts.
Yeah, I don't even think Becky was doing that I don't think Becky was working when she said that either.
Legit.
I think it was legit. But the thing is, Rhea's just playing the game. She's not selling. Look, Rhea knows what she is. She's a very sexy woman. Let's be fair, Rhea. And
we have to be honest.
She's a tremendous wrestler, and she knows what her audience is. But what Becky don't seem to understand, Rhea's not. just selling her sexuality to the male viewers. The male viewers also understand that she's a tremendous wrestler. At the same
Yeah.
time, we're not, this ain't the bra and panties days. We want to see women wrestling, and
Yes,
same with
exactly.
women that like my wife loves Randy Orton. Yeah, she absolutely loves Randy Orton. Randy Orton's on the telly. Yeah, she is watching him. Yeah, she likes him as a wrestler, but she likes the way he looks. Yeah, so
Exactly.
yeah, there's
Completely
nothing wrong
understandable.
with it. There's nothing wrong with it. I think Becky, look, Becky's not an ugly woman either, by the way, but she just hasn't got. No, Rhea's got this thing. She's got this appeal.
Rhea's got is Rhea's got that energy channeled.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She channels that energy and she proper makes the use of it. And that says it all. You cannot be exactly. Raja, good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. So we've got that one. I'm also going for Rhea Ripley because, like I said, there's only two people I want to see her lose this title to. And it's either Jade Cargill, who's presented like a fucking boss, or you lose it to Bianca, who has the athletic prowess to match Rhea.
Yeah, Rhea Bianca is money. They have kept them apart for a reason.
I think that happened at SummerSlam.
Yeah, they've kept them apart for a reason. That will be money. But with Rhea, I think at the end of Mania and on Raw, she goes full babyface. I just don't see how you can keep her a heel.
I still wish she was a heel, but I know they're channeling into it. Where right now she's neither.
Yeah, she's too cool to be to us to boo her. She's just too good. Like Austin back in there. Austin was never a babyface by the wrestling terms, but he was so cool. Yeah, exactly, you just cheered him. Do you know what I mean? It's the same thing.
It was like Sting in '99 when Sting turned on Hogan to win the world title in WCW, but you couldn't turn him heel because everyone fucking loves Sting. You couldn't do it. And obviously, exactly. Vince Russo had a Sting heel fetish, and it didn't work because the fans loved him. It's the same with, as you say, Steve Austin and Attitude Era early years, right? Or even Steve Austin in 2001. They struggled to boo him. And Rhea right now,
who wants to? Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. You just cannot boo her. Like you just can't. She's
keep that strap on her.
Yeah, you've got to. And she's already at well over 300 days as well. Like obviously the women's world title didn't come around until a few months later, but her genuine title reign as of WrestleMania will be a full calendar year.
Yeah.
So shout out to her. I like long title reigns if they actually mean something. They don't lose their essence. They've got to maintain intrigue and interest. And she has done for a full year, and I absolutely commend that.
And I also don't think you have to be defending your title every pay-per-view either. Because it's for the start off, and then as you go along, because she's been champion before, she didn't have to do it now. But like
she's learning.
When it makes it more of a thing when they are not defending it every month because it becomes too predictable. So no, but yeah, she's killing it. So I think Rhea.
I think if you're being used as a working champion though, like if you say you're going to be a working champion, then you've got to do it.
Yeah,
you can't just all of a sudden go, well, you can't all of a sudden change that. Like
I think that's what the mid-title was for.
Yeah, I think it annoys me the Intercontinental title is not defended every pay-per-view. That one in general. Like I grew up loving like the world title in WCW. I loved the WWE title in 1998 and all that going onwards. But 1999. But obviously, I loved the title they brought in '98 more than the Winged Eagle. But I love the Winged Eagle. The Big Eagle is just the title I grew up on. Hey, buddy. In the background.
It's coming back, by the way. It's coming back.
Yeah, but the Intercontinental title is what specifically got me into WWE. It was the Intercontinental title.
The workhorse matches, isn't it?
Yeah, and if that's not on every pay-per-view, and Malo will back me up on this, because I'm in a group chat with him. I fucking hate when the Intercontinental title is not on a pay-per-view. I genuinely go after my nut. Like, I genuinely go after my nut. Here's a question. I'm going to respond to this. It's not real wrestling, so why watch? Well, I'm going to throw a question back at you, Rajat. Football isn't as good as it was 25 years ago. Why do you watch football? Just saying.
Yeah. Wrestling's massive, man. We all know what it is, but it's huge.
It's fun and games. Huge. We love it. But it's entertaining. Like, you've got to enjoy it, and that's the circumstance. So that's where we're at. Speaking of the Intercontinental title, let's get into this one then. Defending champion at 630 plus days, Gunther the Austrian who is looking for Germany. The man's wanting to see his neighbouring nation win the Euros, and he's wanting to see him become world champion in Bash of the Berlin versus Canada's own Sami Zayn. Connor's already pretty much in the chat. I'm looking forward to it. You said show stealer. I say match of the weekend in general.
Yeah, I think it will be. Yeah, I think and I think Sammy wins as well. I think this is where the way Raw ended. I think this is like Sammy's Rocky moment. So I think Sammy wins, but I think he loses it on Raw the next night to Chad Gable. I think that's how they gotta do it. I think Sammy wins the fight because I think Gunther is being readied now for world title, and Triple H loves him. He's going to be at the top of the card on Raw. So, and Cody's going to need opponents. So, I feel like I think Sami Zayn wins this match. I think it'll be the match of the night, and I think he then loses it on Raw on Monday, and the Raw after Mania to Chad Gable, who cheats to win the title.
Yeah, I think he's sick and tired. I've said for a long time he deserves a solo title run, Chad Gable. I think he's excellent. I wanted him to be in the match at WrestleMania, I'll be honest. But he's already had 3 title matches against Gunther. And as far as I'm concerned, there's a certain limit of matches you can actually be afforded.
He's got to coach Sami Zayn to beat Gunther. Then Sami Zayn's got to beat Gunther. And then Sami's got to then give a title shot to Chad Gable on Raw as a thank you for getting him there, and then Chad Gable is going to screw him and cheat him over and win the title on the Monday. That's how I'd book it.
I would also as well during the post match is I would do just a short one-liner saying, "I taught you how to beat him, but I didn't teach you how to beat me." You know what I mean? Just like one of those like dual point promos, short, sweet. I taught you how to beat Gunther, but I did not teach you how to beat me.
Yeah.
A master never reveals all his secrets. And that I think is so key, and I think that will really come into it. Me, on the other hand, I can see the reasons for going for Sami Zayn. I can't go against what I've said for... how long have I been saying this? 5, 6, 7 months, maybe. I can't go against what I've said. I've said all along, unfortunately, it's not happening for me. I said at WrestleMania, I wanted World Champion versus Intercontinental Champion. WrestleMania 6, throwback. Gunther is in the role of Ultimate Warrior. The Working Man's Champion, because it's the IC title, versus the World Champion everyone wants to see in Seth Rollins as the Hogan role. And I was like, well, Warrior obviously beat Hogan that night. He retained the Intercontinental title. He won the WWE title, and then obviously by proxy back then they didn't do double champions back then. He just went, well, fuck this. Nobody's beat me. My title's vacant. My title's still relevant because I've made it relevant, but now it actually wants people to actually go, okay, we can't beat the Invincible Champion. Now we can actually make ourselves better by saying, well, his title's finished now. Like, his title's done. Fine. We'll just go and do better. I've always wanted Chad Gable to be the next Mr. Perfect. Not him directly, but he goes and does it that same way. He wins a tournament at Backlash. They just do a tournament all the way up to Backlash. He gets a very credible opponent. He beats him and he says, well, now you've got the next perfect run. It's my run. Nobody's going to stop it. I'm going to go. And he gets a good voice. I think Chad Gable's good on the mic, but he's one of 2 people right now that I think deserves to work with a certain human being, a very specific human being that I would actually like to see. If you're catching my drift, you might catch what I'm thinking about WrestleMania Sunday for who I think is going to turn on Sunday. But my prediction is Gunther retains it. He won't vacate it, but I'm going Gunther retain it. I think Gunther will lose it just before Berlin so he can focus on the world title.
You might be right. I mean, at the end of the day, this was meant to be Gunther Lesnar, wasn't it?
It was supposed to be, yeah.
And I wish it was, because that match would have been mad. But Lesnar was never winning in the Continental title, was he? So,
He's only ever fought for it once, and he lost by DQ.
It wouldn't make sense to like putting the straight. That wouldn't make sense. So, yeah, I can see. Look, Gunther retaining wouldn't be. I wouldn't cry about it, to be honest, because he's great. But depends how they look at it. How do you get Chad Gable? Like, what do you feud Chad Gable and Sami Zayn over? You know, what's Sammy's next feud after this? What's Chad's next feud after this? That's the way I would look at it. What you gotta do with them? Because do you just have Chad and Sammy in a triple threat at Backlash against Gunther? I mean, that's the only other match I could see you do after. Or like another thing I've heard is that someone said that Chad costs Sammy the match by throwing in the towel.
Yeah,
because Sammy's in the Boston Crab or something like that, and he can't get out, and he's not going to tap, and he's
weak.
Go pass out, and he feels for him, he throws in the towel, and then that's where you have your back and forth between Sammy and Chad, and that could be, because I always work out what do you do after. On paper, good for Sammy's great, could be the match of the weekend. But if Sammy don't win, what do you do after with Sammy? Because you can't put him in this position and then drop down to nothing. You got to keep him there. So it's an interesting one. And it doesn't matter what happens with Gunther. If he loses, he's got so much he can do anyway, world title wise. And if he retains it, he's still got a lot to do as a champion. So
you never know.
Don't say that, because that's my.
You never know. Speaking of questions and comments, I've starred 8 in particular. So keep your comments, keep your questions coming in, guys. Again, like, if there's one thing I enjoy doing on YouTube, etc., besides talking, because I love the sound of my own voice, is hearing what you guys have got to ask. So I'm going to come back to this one first. What legends do you think we will see this weekend?
All of them.
Just The Rock. That's your only legend. That's your only legend.
No, I think Austin will be there.
I mean, I'd like to, but I don't know.
Taker will be there, because Taker's inducting someone tonight in your phone, mainly, so he'll be there.
I think he is. Is he?
Yeah, apparently so.
First I've heard, I don't pay attention to Hall of Fame.
I think Austin will be there, because there's no way Austin won't be at Mania 40. Don't know what he's going to do, but look, my thing of what he would do would be, because I'm booking the shit out of that main event on night 2. So what I would do is something like Avenger style, but I think he'll be there. I don't think you can have this moment of a Austin and a Rock passing each other in a hallway moment sort of thing. I don't know if you can pass that up. I really don't.
Yeah, I think so. If he is there though, I'll pop for it, because it's Steve Austin. I won't pop for Cena. I don't give a flying fuck about John Cena.
I don't think Cena will be there. He's got filming to do in June, ain't he? Yeah, I don't think he'll be there.
His bald spot needs to just keep growing and him to disappear. Just keep it going. Like, just disappear. I don't want to see him. Steve Austin is the only thing of interest.
He's a better actor than The Rock, though. I will give Cena that. Yeah, I went there.
No.
To
be fair, neither of them compared to Dave Bautista anyway. I generally think he's the best actor we've actually had going to Hollywood.
Yeah, Dave Bautista is, yeah.
I think he is by a long shot.
Quite a long way, yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's not even Guardians of the Galaxy I'm talking about. I'm talking about the fact the fact he was an amazing villain, a Bond villain, and he pulled it off, like, physique and presence. I'm like, nah, fuck that. You can't beat this guy. No. Michael Awesome, you certainly are. This is directly at you, mate, so I'm going to let you respond to this. Jamie, saw your repost about Triple H preparing fans for Cody might lose. Do you guys think Roman might retain?
Well, we'll get to that when we get to night 2, but yeah, look, so there was that video out. Obviously, he's been doing the McAfee show, so he was making that video about booking and people after Mania are going to come out and why you do this, why you do that. And a lot of people think it's because Cody's going to lose. I don't think that's the case. I actually think it's more about that people might not like there might not be a lot of title changes at this Mania. that's what he might be getting at. That's what he might be getting at, and the booking and stuff like that. So I think he's just basically talking about that. No matter what everyone does, everyone moans about something. I personally think that if Cody loses this match, then you might as well just let Cody quit wrestling because there's no point in being around.
I've got a few things to say about what would happen if he loses.
If they make him lose this, look, I'm a Triple H mark. I think he's doing great stuff. But if they lose this,
I'll laugh.
Because Roman's already said he's got a limit. His work next year after Mania is pretty much non-existent. Yeah. So you can't.
Pretty much like the hell with
you won't see Roman again until SummerSlam. I'm telling you right now. You might see him at a Saudi show, and apart from that, you'll see him at SummerSlam. So, no, you can't. No.
I absolutely agree. Michael, great question. Keep them coming in, mate. I know you've got another comment, and so I'm coming to that in just a moment. Stay tuned for the last part of your question. Stay tuned, because we will be coming to that. Malo, as I said, my mate from Canada. Mixed bag. Dwayne really helped Cody versus Roman. Drew stuff was good. Damage control was good. Underwhelmed by Rhea versus Becky. Jimmy versus J Build. Yeah,
Jimmy.
There's only one way to describe that match, and it's going to be short as hell. Like, trust me. I've only got
toilet break.
Exactly. Mike's next comment. I think The Rock stole the spotlight from Roman. I want to see The Rock versus Cody more than Roman versus Cody. Funnily enough, Jamie, what did we say before we went live?
We all do, but it's The Rock, man. The Rock can't be the figure in the background. It's The Rock. So if he's coming in, you can't. Look, he's calling himself the final boss. I mean,
yeah, he's not the first boss. He's not the first boss. Exactly.
Have you seen his new Titantron every other week? It just changes, and now I can't wait for his entrance at Mania. It's gonna be immense.
I want him to. I know I mentioned his name a few minutes ago when I mentioned Batista. What I would love to see is obviously the If You Smell part, classic Rock part of his entrance.
Yeah.
You get the Brahma Bull. The final boss appears underneath, and then final boss Brahma Bull disappears in a big fuck off spotlight.
Yeah.
The whole fucker's on him.
Yeah,
the whole shebang. It's just him, and he's just walking out. I hate the fucking buzzword aura. I hate it because people don't use it properly. That's how you use it properly. Remember that, people. Buzzwords are buzzwords unless you know the meaning. Ravi, what match is the one that's had the most build?
Well, the main events are night 1 and 2.
Exactly. It's the main events.
As they should, and as they should, by the way, because that's what sells the shows. Mania 17 is the greatest build of all time for Austin Rock, with the greatest soundtrack and the greatest everything. If everyone thinks of Mania 17, you think of the main event, don't you? That's what you think of.
But I think
that's what you're meant to think of.
I can name 4 matches from that entire show besides the main event.
And it's a great show, but the main event is the greatest title match ever.
Jericho versus, even though he's a bit of a cunt recently, Jericho versus William Regal is the best opening match in WWE history. Apart from Brett versus Owen.
Mysterio angle at SummerSlam.
All right, top 3. That's it. in terms of WrestleMania openers, though,
yeah, it's a great match.
It's either Brett versus Owen or it's Jericho versus William Regal, because you're hooked instant.
By the way, you calling Jericho the cunt? By the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, recent behavior. William Regal at times is just a fanny.
Yeah,
he's just a fanny at times.
But yeah, Jericho. Yeah, he's got issues, man.
He's a legend, but he needs to call it a day. Daz, excellent question. Where would you have the tag match and who opens night 2? Well, the tag match is already main event night 1.
Yeah.
Who opens night 2?
Can't remember the card for night 2 at the moment.
You know what? I'll show you. This is your night 2. This is your night 2 card. I would say you start with this.
Yeah, that Logan Paul, Randy, and Kevin Owens would be a great match.
I would not start with this. I think that's damn right stupid.
Although, look, if you go, I think the 2 best spots to be at Mania is opening and closing. because they're the
Imagine
things everyone
being-
remember. So if
Yeah.
I'm actually Seth and if I'm Rollins and Drew,
set the bar. Set the bar.
it would be better opening, because then you set the bar, and then you're not in the way of that main event at the end. Plus, them two are going to get involved in the main event, so you need that cooling off period in between. So, yeah.
And additionally, as well, it sets you up for the provocative question that Connor obviously mentioned earlier on about cash-ins. Daz also mentioned cash-ins. You can question it on both sides. Do they cash in here? Do they cash in later?
That's
We don't
happening
know.
Monday night.
I don't think. I honestly think
He's only got
this
1
is
month to
anyway.
do it. He's only got 1 month to do it.
I hope he fails.
I believe it. I think it happens on Monday night. I think he tries to cash in on Monday night against whoever the champion is and fails, and that's the breakup of Judgment Day. Because I think Andrade cashes Priest, costs Priest to cash in, and Andrade becomes the new leader of Judgment Day. That's my opinion.
That's a
And you get
interesting show.
and you get what happened between Edge when he arrived and Finn came in. They got rid of Edge. Thingy's going to come in, and Andrade's going to come in, and they go cost Priest everything, and he takes over Judgment Day.
To be fair, he should, because it's just the way the circumstances going.
It looks like it, don't it? What we've seen.
Yeah. There would be a lot of fume, but there'd be so much laughter from me. I would go on a Twitter barrage.
It's a dusty finish, isn't it? Yeah, I mean,
yeah, hard times. It's the funniest comment. It's just hard times. John Cena and Steve Austin were teasing that Cody Rock segment. Yes, they were. That is correct. Danny, I would say if a cash-in happens at Mania, Seth will retain. Drew will do a beatdown, and then Priest cash in. Yeah, it does, but then there's one thing. You've taken away all the heat and the momentum away from Drew McIntyre. Even if he just does a beatdown, you take it all away from him. Nobody's going to remember Drew beating down Seth. It's going to be Priest cashed in. You can't. I don't think you should do that. The way that Drew's been right now, with all the fact he is not just hot right now. He is very hot for work right now. He is at the absolute top of his game.
And people have got to remember that Drew pinned Cody Rhodes, and only the Romans pinned Cody Rhodes since he's been in WWE. That tells you everything what they think about Drew right now. So I don't think they go. I think this match will be a clean match, a clean one-on-one match. No,
I think it goes. I think it goes 25 minutes and just gets there. 25 minutes and you enjoy it. That's where it is. Connor, the internet meltdown if Cody loses will be hilarious. Yes, it will.
Especially on Wrestle Talk. Especially on Wrestle Talk.
Oh yeah, absolutely. If Cody loses, he will need an early retirement. No, I've got a good suggestion. If Cody loses, don't worry, I've got a good suggestion. Drew versus Seth should open night 2 with Drew winning.
Yeah,
I like
agree.
that idea.
I agree.
And Sharv, speaking of Cody fans, Priest is the dumbest wrestler in kayfabe. You're not even wrong. You're not even wrong. He is an absolute.
He's thick as shit.
Anyone with an absolute brain would have cashed in on Seth Rollins after the Rock fucked him about on Monday.
Also, he should have cashed in on Rollins when Rollins kept telling the world he had a broken back.
Yeah, he's an absolute dumbass.
I don't think he can cash in now and win. This is the problem. There's too much.
Nobody wants it anymore.
You know, Seth has got his own thing going with Punk
and
Drew. You know, Punk's going to have a lot of involvement, guys. I forgot about it. Punk's going to have a lot of involvement. You got Drew and Punk and Rollins. That's that little threesome there for me that goes into the summer. Then you've also got, I think Rollins and The Rock are going to have a match at SummerSlam. That's the SummerSlam match, in my opinion. And then you got other little things going. So I don't know where. And Priest has got literally, I believe,
no involvement.
8 weeks to cash in his briefcase. So he's going to have to do it.
I actually hope, and I said, like, Sharp's also in the same group chat with me, Malo, and I've said this to you on stream as well. I've said this on stream numerous times. I said, because obviously I went to Money in the Bank, they should have just gave it to LA Knight right there and then.
Yeah.
They should have. It would have been so much better. Because right now, imagine the actual addition of AJ Styles versus LA Knight for the Money in the Bank briefcase at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I mean, by the way,
so much better.
I've actually got really into their feud recently, ain't gonna lie.
That's what happens when the best goes up against a very good talker.
And their thing today as well with that fight they
It's
had.
so good.
I thought
It's
that was
peak.
I thought that was actually a more realistic fight than people give it credit for.
Yeah, I like what they've done with it. It's old
Yeah.
school shit of like, well, fuck the two of you. We're just gonna travel 3,000 miles just to go and screw a guy in a chamber match.
Yeah, exactly. I think this rivalry is really picking up and be a good. And it doesn't help
I
that
look forward.
AJ now looks like Brock Lesnar. So it.
Yeah, I don't. That's the only thing about AJ I don't like is like I don't mind the fact he's committed himself to actually bulking up and all that, but AJ Styles was a small, amazing technical wrestler. Now he's just a big brute, and I'm like, mate, it's
Go
like
to his
fucking,
gimmick, though. Go to his gimmick.
it's like being on, it's like playing 2K24. You're on GM mode. You go from cruiserweight to fucking heavyweight within a month. And you're like, fuck, that's not what you fucking are.
He's definitely he's beefed up, man. But wearing the black jeans, and he's gone for a more brawling technique now as well. I think and apparently he's got new music as well. And so
yeah, he's getting that. So is Ruin away. Guys, keep your comments in. 10 minutes from now, we're playing we're going through Ailey's videos, so do that. You know what we're gonna do actually? Ailey sent night 1 and night 2, so we're gonna do it that way. We're gonna do night 1 and night 2, finish the predictions, and then we're gonna start the night 2 predictions with Ailey. That's what we're gonna do. Ailey's gonna get 2 segments. That's how we do it. Match 3, and I called this the night after the fucking Royal Rumble.
What, the tag titles?
I said the tag titles would be done in a 6-pack challenge of some sort.
There you go, man.
Fucking,
there you go.
And I knew it was coming because now you can split the tag titles.
How are they going to do it though? Are they going to put one set up first?
You've got to retrieve all the titles to win.
But if you put all the titles up there, what stops someone just going up there and picking them all up?
This is the thing.
Why would you not go for the other pair unless they're only going to do one pair at a time and then start the match again?
I would go because right now they're split as one title, so you've got to go for it. I would have my prediction to win one of them is New Catch Republic. I want Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate to take one of them. I would have Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate win the SmackDown Tag Team titles, or rename them to whatever because they're on SmackDown.
They're getting their belts as well, apparently, aren't we? So
exactly. So I would have those two win that one, and then Connor the Red Saint, Awesome Truth, for example. Either tag team, Awesome Truth or DIY, for example, they take the Raw side, and they just field it from there. One belt's retrieved, the other one's retrieved, and they go, how the fuck happens? Don't do a match. Aldis and Fuck Nugget come out. What? This is it. We have our champions. We're not even going to bother We're not even going to bother. We have new champions straight down. I've got my brand. You've got yours. Let's go for it.
Yeah, I agree.
That's what I would do. And I like the concept of the teams involved. I think we've got some good matches here. I think we've got some good tag teams for it. Apart from the Miz.
Can I give my? I think this is not just going to be these guys in this match.
I know what else you're thinking, and
I've got a funny feeling Motorman City Machine Guns will be in this match, and the Hardys will be in this match. I've just got this feeling. I think the Hardys are done with AEW, and obviously the Motorman City Machine Guns are done with TNA. TNA and WWE got a very good relationship at the moment. I think Triple H would love to have them on board, and you add them two to the match, and they both win the titles. I'm going for no one that's actually publicly printed on that screen right now to win the tag team titles.
Okay, then I'll note that. The thing is, though, and this is what I'll say as well, is they are done with they are done with TNA. But the thing is, though, their contract might be up, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're just going to go and jump to another organization. They've done New Japan, they've done all that, but they are TNA at heart. They might just want a break. However, if they go anywhere, the tag team scene right now in both organizations is actually enjoyable right now from what you base it on. There are elements. The Bucks, for example, in AEW, I'm just going to use this as an example because you've mentioned the Motorcycle Machine Guns. They have history with the Motorcycle Machine Guns. They have it. So you actually have a chance. Dynasty is right near enough at the end of this month. They could appear following the tag team tournament final match. They could appear. But also as well, good point, they could appear during this match. And if they do, peak. But let's face it, does anybody really want to see Matt Hardy in 2024?
Wouldn't surprise me if they did it for a pop. It wouldn't shock me. But look, if they don't want, if they don't come back or re-debut or debut, then I will just go with the people on paper. I would probably say DIY and New Catch Republic.
So you're going for a split as well, similar to myself.
I think a split. I look at the only way that you do a team wins all the belts is if you decide to just have one set of tag team titles that get defended on all shows, which I'd be fine with as well, because then you got loads more title fights then. But if you want to keep it split, DIY on Raw are your workhorse tag champs who can work with anyone, and then New Catch Republic, who are Triple H's boys, let's put it that way.
They get the story type run, they still work a good match.
And then they got a great feud with what's their names? The English tag team. Oh, it's gone right in my head.
Which ones?
What's that English tag team called? Where the vests short? Oh, Pretty Deadly.
Oh, fuck them.
Then you got a tag team feud with Pretty Deadly. I do like Pretty Deadly's entrance music.
As a Star Wars fan, I fucking love that profile pic. Nightly LFC, welcome to the stream. The Rock is going to cost Roman the belt, and that will lead to The Rock versus Roman at WrestleMania 41 or SummerSlam.
I don't think The Rock's turning heel.
Me neither.
Face. I don't think The Rock's turning face. I think The Rock's bad guy.
He's perfect as a heel. He's perfect as a heel.
When we get to it, I do think one of them are going to screw the other one though, but not in the tag match. I think it'd be in night two.
I've noted down, just for yourself, by the way, I've noted Motorcycle Machine Guns as a main prediction, but I've also put underneath brackets in case it actually does not happen. I'm not going to do that. I've gave you official current stars of DIY and New Catch Republic.
I don't think it'd be missing that. I know people thought missing that. I just think that Miz and R-Truth stuff would only have worked if it was a one-on-one match with.
I'm just not a fan.
That's the only way it would have worked, because it would have made sense. But I think the last couple of weeks they've gone away from that Miz and R-Truth stuff with Judgment Day, haven't they? So I think Truth costs Judgment Day in a way. I reckon they throw them off the top of the ladder and you think they're going to win it. And then someone like New Catch Republic come up behind and win it over them or something like that. But I don't think they're going to win it. I like R-Truth. R-Truth's legend. But the Miz, no.
Yeah. I think the Miz is finished. I know Sharv's in the chat. He loves the Miz. I think the Miz is fucking wasteful. He's had too long a career. He's a nice guy and all that, but I just can't stand him.
Keep him around as a company man. But
jobber. Permanent jobber.
Yeah, he hasn't really got anything to give anymore, has he? R-Truth's got more to give on TV than the Miz.
Yeah, I've put down as my predictions, by the way, and I'm sorry for in the chat. I mean, I don't want to do this. I'm sorry. New Catch Republic, I've already said. Unfortunately, I've said the New Day. I'm sorry. I've said the New Day. But I've said the New Day. I've said the New Day in hope that on Raw they get absolutely squashed by the Ivy Niles' two best pals.
They're great.
I would have them I would just have them come out and just squash them on Raw.
Why ain't there's a reason? There is a reason they're not in this match. There's a reason they're not in this match, and I think the reason.
I think they're the Monday thing. Except Dolph Ziggler's better. Well, Nick Nemeth, I should say, is better. Great match last night against Alex Shelley on TNA. But thanks for bringing up Nick Nemeth. They're great. They're a great tag team. I think
I'm shocked they're not actually in this match, but I think they're the team that's going to eventually win the titles off whoever wins here for the Raw.
They have to. They're
section.
too likable.
They're
too
great.
likable.
And they're excellent wrestlers.
Yeah, they are. I really like their style. I like their basis of their work. I think they're, in terms of work-wise, they don't overdo it. They work a good pace. I think also they just understand their style, and I think that's very important. If you don't, then you're not going anywhere, and I think that's the key.
Yeah.
So where we've done 3 matches now. We're going to do one more, and then it's over to Ailey. This match is going to suck. The end. I hope it ends in a double disqualification. I do not care for Jey Uso with that yeet shit, and I don't care for Jimmy Uso with his no yeet shit. People are going to say this is the greatest brother versus brother match of all time. I'm sorry. Bret Hart versus Owen Hart exists. Don't be delusional.
Yeah, that's
Bloodlines. Yeah, like the Bloodline story for me is more exciting now because The Rock is back in it. But I already said the last time this story was good was when Sami Zayn was in it, and that was over a year ago, 13 months ago. I have got no interest for this storyline anymore. I don't. I've got no time for this match. I hope it lasts 5 minutes, and if it ends in a double DQ, even better. It's going to be 55 super kicks, 25 super splashes, and all that shit. And then I don't know, maybe Solo gets involved.
The way I'm looking at it, so this tag ladder match will take 30 to 40 minutes.
I hope so.
I think Rhea, and because there's thing I'm saying today that the 4 out of the 7 matches Triple H is going to give her a long time to. So
on Monday, not Monday, on Sunday night. Yes, she gets longer.
So I literally think the ladder match will go the longest out of all the matches on this card for Saturday.
Surely, yeah.
Just because how many people are on there. I think Rhea and Becky go about 20 minutes. I think Gunther and Sammy go about 15, 20 minutes. This will go 40 minutes, in my opinion. And then the Uso match will be the shortest. I actually like Jey. I think Jay's got an excellent presentation. I think his entrance is arguably one of the best in the company. And he's got a really good presentation. He's got a very likable character, and I think he's got more charisma than Jimmy has, by quite some way, personally. So for me, Jey wins this. Jey should win, but I think all the heels from the bloodline are going to win night 1. So,
yeah, I think
because Solo's getting involved. I'm surprised Rikishi ain't the special guest referee for this match, by the way.
Yeah,
I don't know if they couldn't get him but yeah, Jey should win, but I think Jimmy's going to win this match.
I don't know why he's not. I don't know why he's not. I'm gonna go for the more abstract choice as well. So you've gone for
I've gone for Jimmy.
You've gone for Jimmy. I think it sets the tone more for the tag match if Jimmy actually loses. That's why I've gone for Jey. I've gone for Jey because it sets the tone where we know how Roman treats family if they do not do what they're expected of, except Solo, because he's a pussy-o, and 0 and 35 is fucking hilarious. He should just be called Jobber, because that's what he is. He's a jobber. In circumstance, though, I think if you have Jey win, it'll actually piss off Roman more by the circumstance that he's like, well, one of my family members who's actually still with me, who's loyal to me, has failed. I cannot fail. I just refuse to fail. And I think that'll add to it in that way. So that's why I've gone for Jey to win. I hope it's short as hell. I do not want this to go long. This should be 8 minutes max.
What are the other matches? I think the shortest match will be match 5.
The women's match. Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably. I would give Jey versus Jimmy. I'd give them 8 minutes, and I'd just give the women a little bit longer. Nightly, thank you for just understanding me, even though you're a Liverpool fan. Thank you for understanding. I'm the same as you. CM Punk will end up champion. There's no way he would come back if he wasn't going to get the belt, just like when Brock came back. Yeah, exactly. And Connor says he also likes Jey. Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
like
don't
Jay.
mind the matches.
I like Jay's presentation. I think Jay's. I think his entrance is literally one of the best in the company. And he's over. He's far more over than Jimmy ever would be. Jimmy,
Yeah.
when I look at Jimmy's quiet, he hasn't got the charisma of Jay. He just ain't. Jay's the one. Jay's got the most charisma for me. So I think Jay's got quite a future as a singles wrestler, to be fair. In fact, I'm going to put a prediction out there now. I think
Please don't say it.
Jay has a stellar WWE solo career, and Jimmy will be let go.
Are you trying to say this is a Rockers moment?
Yeah, Jay's the Shawn Michaels of this team. Yeah.
Someone please direct this to our group chat. So Malo or Sharv, because I believe Sahib, who's in our group chat, I'm pretty sure he thinks that Jimmy's better. So I'd love to get a response to that one. I actually quite respect that prediction, to be fair. So Justin, to quote Shawn Michaels after the Royal Rumble 2004, we haven't even gotten started yet. This is an hour in. We're nowhere near finished, mate. And now, it's the first part of Ailey's predictions. Now, I'm going to mute myself. I'm going to turn off night driving just for a moment. And I'm going to, I'm hoping you can hear this. In the comments, just someone tell me in the chat if you can hear this. I'm going to play the first two prediction videos that Ailey sent for tonight, because obviously Ailey couldn't make it. So, I'm going to play this. If you can hear this, tell me. So I'm going to mute myself now.
For match number 1, we have Rhea Ripley defending her women. For match number 1, we have Rhea Ripley defending her Women's World Championship against Becky Lynch. This match was fairly well signposted and fairly well built to. Not the match I wanted to see, as everyone knows. I would much rather see Belair in Becky Lynch's spot. Not because I don't respect Becky Lynch as a worker. I just think Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley is a more intriguing match. But we still have time to build it. We have more time on the clock with Bianca as we do to Becky at this point. I think Rhea's got to win. I think at WrestleMania you've got to watch how often every title changes hands, and I don't think we can have every title changing hands. So Rhea Ripley to retain in match number 1. In match number 2, according to the Wikipedia card order for WrestleMania 40, I also have the champion retaining. I think that Gunther is going to beat Sami Zayn. I think we could be looking at the match of the weekend if these two get to do what they can do. I think Sami Zayn's got incredible babyface fire. I think that Gunther's just a monster and a powerhouse, and he's destined for the main event scene. But I don't think it's time for him to lose the IC title yet, and Reece has obviously alluded to Gunther doing a Warrior. It wouldn't shock me if Gunther did a Warrior and won the world title alongside the IC title. In the third match here, we have the six-pack tag team ladder match. Now, news broke that basically the match is going to keep going. So this is the match to separate the titles. So there will be one winner of the Raw belts, and then the match will keep going, and there'll be one winner of the SmackDown belts. I don't know if the same team can win both. I don't know why the same team would want to win both, to be honest. Maybe Judgment Day do, because they want all the belts back. But I think that the belts go to DIY and Awesome Truth, and then I think you transfer DIY over to SmackDown. I think Judgment Day has run its course. I think maybe not as a stable, but certainly as a tag team in their own right. And I think they need some kind of freshening up. And what better freshening up than if Finn Balor was to turn on Damian Priest and they were to feud over the Money in the Bank briefcase, which will hopefully eventually get cashed in. They are really running out of time. I think there are some fun teams in here. There should be a lot of really fun spots. But yeah, I'm going with DIY and the Awesome Truth to win their respective tag titles. Jey Uso gets Jimmy Uso. I think Jay's got to win this one. I don't see what Jimmy gets out of winning it, other than just extending a feud that will hopefully be over, just in terms of the whole bloodline thing. Because we're all hoping for that, of course. I think it'll be all right. I think these two opened the Rumble fairly well. It was a nice moment. They're getting to do what they want to do. I'm not sure how I feel about Jey Uso calling it his dream match, like outside. Sort of to like news reporters and things. I'd much rather he kept the kayfabe of wanting to kill Jimmy rather than go, oh, we've always dreamt about having this match anyway. But I can see where he's coming from, because it is his real brother and he's doing an okay job at blending it. I don't like when people say, oh, and I'm looking forward to this match with this person that I hate. You're not supposed to, really, unless it's like, oh, I'm looking forward to kicking your ass, but that's not how Jay's been saying it. Anyway, that's not very important. Not very important. Then we have number 5, Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, and Naomi up against Damage Controlled, Kokai Asuka and Kairi Sane. I think the faces have to win this. I think Jade Cargill's going to look very strong. I think Bianca Belair always looks very strong, and I think Naomi is a bit of a letdown. I'd much rather have seen Tiffy. I see why they didn't go with Tiffy, because we can all see why, and there's no problem with the why, but we can all see why Tiffany Stratton isn't the third one and Naomi is, and there's nothing wrong with pointing that out. Damage Control, they've been fun, but obviously I think it's about to run its course, or at very least it's about to drastically change. I don't think they win this. In at number 6, I've got the heel team of Santos Escobar and Dominic Mysterio winning. I think that this is the beginning of that heel LWO. And then match number 7, the night 1 main event, I do have The Rock and Roman Reigns going over as well. I think that the idea will be to stack the deck against Cody, and then Cody wins anyway. I don't think there'll be a turn, but I do think Seth will eat the pin, and that might fire Cody up more, because it wasn't his fault necessarily.
Fair enough. Good picks. Good picks.
Yeah, I agree. And there's one thing that I said we were going to react to Ailey's opening videos. So that's the first 2. That's for night 1. That's Ailey's predictions for night 1, guys. And I've written them down. She's made some very specific points. Rock and Roman have to win. Absolutely. There you go. She's obviously confirmed about the tag team titles. Absolutely. Very excellent point. What's the point in just taking all the titles back? What is the point? Split it. Have different champions. It's time to really put some extra momentum into the tag team titles. Give it some extra blend of want and interest, because there's so many tag teams. One champion isn't enough for 2 brands if you've got a brand split. Another thing as well that I thought was absolutely spot on. First of all, she alluded to my Warrior prediction. Thank you very much. I like that as well. The J part, absolutely spot on. Nobody gives a flying fuck about this extended feud. It has to end at WrestleMania. Belair, Cargill, and Naomi, yeah, another one. In terms of the point, Naomi hasn't been particularly good since she's returned to WWE. It's because she's working slower. She needs to be working at a pace that actually works for her. But also, especially, you couldn't theoretically have Tiffany Stratton in this match unless you turned Tiffany Stratton quickly babyface for WrestleMania. Like, it just, and that would have just derailed her, and I think that's a shame. But I also like Damage Control's work. I think it's time for Damage Control to end at WrestleMania somehow. I don't know how they do it, but we see Niall, hello. The heel tag team, Mysterio versus Santos. Again, yep, fantastic. And obviously Rock versus Roman. I think she's completely spot on. Your reactions on Ailey's predictions, and guys in the chat, what do you think about Ailey's reactions? Do you agree? Do you disagree with anything that Ailey has said? Over to you, sir.
I think the only one I disagree with is I think Jimmy beats Jay just because
Mhm.
I think night 1 is Empire Strikes Back and night 2 is Return of the Jedi. So that's
Okay then.
how I'm looking at it. With
I was
the
gonna say
Bianca,
Avengers.
with the Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, and Naomi stuff, Jade Cargill firstly ain't going to lose in her actual
She could
first
win
match
this on her own.
debut. Yeah, her first match debut. Bianca Belair, they're protecting her WrestleMania streak for Rhea next year, in my opinion.
There's
And
just
Naomi could do with a big win. There's nothing damage control get out of this. By the way, I just want to say one thing on Jade Cargill. Right, right. This ain't me knocking AEW, by the way, but Jade Cargill's presentation has been 100 times better than Mercedes Moné's on AEW's. I'm just putting it out there. It's not me coming for it. It's just Mercedes Moné already just looks like another wrestler in AEW. She doesn't look special at all. Where Jade Cargill, that music they gave her with that sort of like Storm X-Men sort of like presentation, it's just it's brilliant, and she looks like a superstar. Obviously, I personally think it's going to be Jade versus Bianca at SummerSlam. I think that's how they're going to get there. But
so do I said
think
that as well.
I think these three are just going they're just going to destroy Damage Control. I don't think it's going to be much of a match either. I just think it's just going to be a destroyment, and that's why Tiffany's not in it. Tiffany's your next big star, by the way. Tiffany's excellent. So she's brilliant. She's brilliant. So no need to rush Tiffany Stratton, but you can understand why they're giving Jade Cargill the spotlight at the moment because superstar written all over her. Superstar written all over.
Yeah, I think Tiffany Stratton is definitely a star in the making. Great presentation. She's good in the mic. Character work is certainly better than what it was a few years ago. I still think she's quite green in some aspects. I've always maintained that. I think Jade Cargill especially is looking more impressive. She's got that. It certainly sums up for me. Malo saying with the Star Wars references, what Jamie's saying is WrestleMania. What is WrestleMania is going to be cinema.
Cinema, that's it, man.
Yeah.
These two main events are going to be cinema. Yeah, let's face it.
This is my only issue with going for that. You know, like it's a different comparative. It's different in a comparative sense, but also a narrative. Like when people say, "Oh, XYZ is cinema," yes and no. Like some of it you can absolutely anoint to as cinema. And then there's some of it people just use it because they know it's a way to just get likes on Twitter.
Oh yeah,
And
of course, yeah.
And I'm like, I'll tell you what cinema is, and I'll tell you what cinema isn't. Cinema is Rock versus Austin 2 with the shock of the century when Steve Austin sides with Vince McMahon.
Yeah, that's cinema. Yeah,
that's cinema. Roman Reigns.
Yeah, go on.
Roman Reigns versus most of his opponents over the past 3 fucking years ain't cinema.
I don't know.
Bloodline Roman versus Jay.
That was
Bloodline Rose. That was crap.
Oh, I love that, man. The storytelling
that was just crap.
The storytelling was perfection.
I think there's some elements that is pure cinema. If you want to go that way, no problem. But it's how you actually contextualize it, and people are just saying it because it's their favorite. Now,
I think these main events are going to be cinema because, like, if you look at Rock Cody on that Raw, Rock Cody at the end of that Rock versus Cody, that at the end of Raw, not last week, the week before.
You could say that was cinema.
That was definitely cinema. The production in that and the lighting and the rain and that was beautiful.
Was luck. That was by luck, though. Like, that was great luck.
But I think these two main events on both nights are going to be, cinema. But yeah, I think it's more about. I don't think it's about the matches and the presentation. I think it's been the stories the stories between Sami Zayn and Roman was cinema. You know what I mean? That was
by all means.
Yeah,
By
I
all
think that's
means.
why. I think it's more of the story. I even think the Jay Roman stuff at the start was great story. The matches weren't great, but the story was,
Yeah, but
was
you didn't really
intriguing.
retain interest. You know what I mean? You don't like.
Mm,
We've seen it 3 or 4 times, and only one of them is interesting. It was maybe the second match, but
mm.
like there's some of it that's just really pointless. Like we better get Rock versus Cody. I think we will, but I think we get Cody versus Heel Orton first.
I don't think we ever get Rock versus Cody.
If we do, then we do. I don't know if it's necessary, but I think
I think you get
we might.
Rollins. I think you get Rollins Rock.
You know what's bad about that? I don't think you get an element of interest. Not because they're
No.
not interesting, but I don't think anyone gets actually hyped up or pumped up for Rock versus Rollins. And everyone knows I like Seth Rollins. I'm a Rollins fan.
Yeah,
I think
Rollins
he's a little
quality.
bit. I think the shit character needs to die though. I think
I
this
don't
character needs to
know.
be. I think this character right now
I love
needs
it,
to
man.
be. This character right now needs to be taken out to the desert and left for dead. It's done. Like
I
that
know.
character is done. The gimmick shit that he's doing, it needs to go. It needs to go back to the more meticulous, sinister, chaotic version of the fact is he is an architect. He's an architect for his own success. He's an architect for his own downfall. But I'm not saying get rid of all the elements of this Joker-esque gimmick.
Mm.
But some of it's way over the top. I'm sorry, but he needs to ditch the Cher and go back to the Manic. Ditch the Cher, go back to the Manic. What match is your top match this yearbook? I think I'm gonna wait till December. It's too early to.
Well,
It's too early to say.
in all wrestling,
So
it's,
far, it's too much to say.
everyone's got to say thingy, ain't they?
Oh
But
yeah, I like Seth as a babyface, but as a heel, he's so much better. There's so much more. I know what you meant by year. I think it's too early to say. To go,
everyone's
there's been
got to
a few
say
good.
certain AEW wrestler, ain't they?
No, I think there's been. I think it depends on what you like. I think that really is important. Like, I think again, it comes down to what you're asking for in a match. Do you want the story base of a match, or do you just want the match itself? Do you want the build? I think
It's
if you're looking at it that way, then cool. But what that's the key. And I think if you want to say your match of the year is a Will Ospreay, no problem.
yeah, I got no
He's
problem
brilliant
with
in the
it.
ring.
It's just the same thing every week. I just
I think you got to be honest about your own match, and that's it. It's your
yeah.
match. It's your match. It's your
I'm
match of the year.
story. I'm more story based. Look, the reason AEW is doing shit right now because they can't write stories. They just have 5-star matches every week, and no one cares anymore. You know,
Technically they do story, but they do the type of like this is
the
what I'm going to
stories are
say.
with the elite, and that's all it's with.
They do story, but what this is not like. This is where I'm going to just. They do story, but they don't do the story that like say for example a WWE hardcore fan wants. They do like I've said it once like before, and I stand by it. Bret Hart wasn't just the WWE story. He wasn't all about just building to a story. Bret Hart taught stories in the ring with his matches.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Just like even though he's an absolute wanker and he's dead for what he's done, Chris Benoit was the exact same thing. Chris
Mm-hmm.
Benoit didn't just tell great match stories. He told the whole element of a build up. Chris Benoit versus Kurt Angle from Royal Rumble 2003 is the best match of the early 2000s for just two technical wrestlers.
Breaking news.
But
Triple H has just confirmed that the draft will take place in a month's time.
sweet. Not bad.
I don't know if that's going to change anyone's predictions,
that's
but
interesting.
Yeah.
That's cool. I mean, I completely respect that. I like matches that are, if they're just a one-off and end up being great, cool. But I think you need to have a balance. And I like the reason Bret Hart is one of my best, like my favorite all-time wrestlers, is because he wasn't just about. He had his match with his brother, like the build-up of his brother to the Royal Rumble heel turn in the Quebecers match, to then win the Rumble, but still wrestle Owen Hart, and then he main events SummerSlam in the cage with Owen.
I'm
like,
with you, but you wanted to tune in every week to see that story. That's not what AEW have got. I think that's AEW's issue right now. When
For some people, they have it. Some they just don't do
some
it.
fans look, people like everyone likes wrestling. Tribalism is real. It's the same in football. It's the same in wrestling. Everything tribalism.
Yep,
Yeah,
absolutely.
A lot of people like wrestling just to see a 5-star match, and they don't care about the story.
And that's fine.
But the problem is, if you're doing TV, and people might not like this, but if you're doing TV, you need more than that. And that's why their TV's down, their ratings are down, their attendances are down, unfortunately.
Yeah,
it's a shame.
I think
It's a shame, but that's the fact it is.
I
And
also
plus,
think as well, though,
AEW
was what they feel.
AEW was at its highest when WWE was at its worst. Do you know what I mean? And now
Yeah.
the tide's turned. WWE are the best. But look, everyone likes something. That's why there's many organisations out there. Some people just like independent wrestling because they just love seeing 5-star matches and you leaving everything in the ring because that might be the only time you see them. So they give you everything. Some people like story-driven wrestling. Some people like that. That's why it's great to have so many things out there to watch.
This is why I also disagree when people say that Japan, like New Japan, for example, don't do stories. New Japan do stories. But they tell it in the ring. Like you can't tell me you can't tell me Bullet Club is not a story. Like,
it's
Bullet
more of a
Club
sport, ain't it? It's more of a sport.
Yeah, but Bullet Club is one of the longest continuous stories going over different versions of a faction.
Yeah.
It just evolves itself like through the best means. But I think I don't care what people like. For example, like you love the story stuff, like the story element. I'm never going to say you're wrong. Just like Ailey likes the story stuff more than a 5-star match, but she'll appreciate a good match in a different concept.
Of course.
Concept, sorry. Whereas I like a mixture of both. But if a good match is on TV, I'm going to remember it for those reasons. But I like the element of you can build a storyline over 6-7 months, fine. And then you've got to cap off. But I also like when you tell a story in the ring that can also lead to the next week and be the same way. That does happen. But people actively choose to ignore it and they just choose to go for the means of we're just going to slam the ratings. Why not you just comment on the actual match itself instead of just slamming the ratings? The ratings aren't anything to do with us. Ratings are going to fluctuate whether you like it or not. Like
I think with
care.
the ratings though, what the ratings are showing, there is zero growth with AEW, and that's I think that's their issue, and their attendances are so down at the moment. You know, what is the point to take the 15,000 seat arena and only having 5,000 people in there? Just do a 5,000 seat arena and make it noisy. Do you know what I mean? Just it.
They would actually they would kill. I think the good thing about that if they did is if they actually went and did a 5, 6, 7,000 K or 5, 6, 7,000 arena, right? Even if they did that, they could then gradually increase it again.
Yeah, exactly.
I love all wrestling in general. Like I do. I'm not but I already said where my overall preference is. But I want to see every company do well. I want to see stupid shit die out. I want to see stupid shit die, but I want to just enjoy wrestling in general. But the element of if they did 5, 6, 7 seater capacity arenas or whatever, you're going to get the heat of the crowd again. But then there's going to be that demand where actually, hold on, we really want to get it back up. The fans will demand more. They will increase again. They'll go up to a 9, 9.5. Then
That's what I need to do.
Then you get back into then you get back into 5-figure numbers. You get back into 10K. If you do it, cool. WWE attendances for what 5, 6 years were fucking. Even though they were selling out, the crowds were like dishwater.
Yeah, exactly. And that's not
they were
what you want.
rotten.
You want them on fire like they are right now. And like AEW, when they were last few years, they were known for their crowds, and something's just gone completely wrong from.
I don't know what it is. I don't know.
I think some people are. I enjoy watching some guys in there. There's some guys I watch and I'm like, why are you trying to have a 6-star match on a Wednesday night with no story when I know I can watch you again next week? You know, you don't have to do it. You don't have to have that independent mindset anymore. And I think the problem is a lot of people feel that as way with them at the moment. And it is like, I personally feel Tony Khan builds matches towards the Dave Meltzer rating. I think that's blatantly obvious now. And if he stopped doing that, they might get better. Look, put the title off. Take the title off Samoa Joe because he's the worst champion ever. Get the title off him. He ain't
coming. I think it's
He
coming.
ain't going to carry your company.
Something.
Can't carry your company.
He's not carrying. I don't think he's looking to do that. I think he's just being that impenetrable force that's still, unfortunately, a transitional champion. But I think he works. But this is actually what I'm coming to later on. Funnily enough, it's an example. W crowds right now. I actually have a question I want to ask you after we do the end of night one predictions. I've got a question I want to ask you, and I want to ask the chat as well. And I just want you it's just a yes or no. You don't have to go into detail on it. I just want to get a yes or no. And I'm going to ask the chat as well. So let me know. So let's carry on. Ailey's already done Bianca Belair. She's already done 6, and we've done 7. Now we're going to get your predictions for this one, man. What is your overall thoughts on the 6-woman tag? You said it's going to be the shortest match of the night.
Yeah.
But who do you think the standout's going to be, though, in the match?
Jade Cargill.
You think it'll be Jade?
Yeah. She's gotta be the one who gets the 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
And they're all. I think this is just gonna be a match where everyone hits their moves. You know, like Triple H tells them before they go out. Right, you got 8 minutes. You got to put everything into it in 8 minutes. And just make it a spot fest. Because to be fair, ain't that what we want to see out of this match?
Yeah, I want to see Jade Cargill powerbomb the fuck out of someone.
Don't we just want to see Bianca and Jade just muscle off? No, I'm not saying Naomi. Naomi with her, her abilities as well. But don't we just really want to see
that physique? Yeah.
No, we just want to see Jade and Bianca have this muscle off of moves they're going to do on Kairi Sane, Dakota, and they're 3 tiny women. Damage control. They go throw them about like it. It's going to be fun to watch, and it's what it should be. I don't want to see a 20-minute strategic 6-woman tag. Sorry, I want to see an 8-minute throw it all in there in the ring, and just have a barn burner of a spot fest for 8 minutes. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah,
nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely. And then straight after the match, Jade Cargill bitches Bianca. Just bitches her.
Yeah,
I've
just
got
powerbombs
my
her.
moment. Yeah, I've won the match, but I need to remember I'm not a babyface. Jade Cargill is extremely likable. She's got great presentation. I 100% agree. But end of the day, Jade Cargill didn't come to WWE to be pals with people. She came to be the best.
Yeah.
She came to win everything. There's no way she's here to go, Bianca's right beside me. She calls herself all this, all that. But as the line says in that promo, the storm has arrived.
And they're not going to feud
the fuck out of her.
And they're not going to feud with Damage Control after this because I think this will be the end of Damage Control anyway. So, they're not going to feud with them, are they? And Jade's your special attraction. So they're going to build from. They're going to this after Mania's finished. They're going to start the SummerSlam build, and that's where you get Bianca and Jade.
I only have one request from this match, though. I've got Jade Cargill to get the pin, but I have one request from this match. Can we please not have Asuka take the pin? Because I'm sick of Asuka losing at WrestleMania.
Oh no, Dakota Kai's got to take the pin.
I hope so. I'm sick of seeing Asuka losing at WrestleMania.
And look, so this is what I think might happen. Yeah, they pin Asuka or Kairi Sane, yeah, and then on Monday night, Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill beat Asuka and Kairi Sane for the tag titles.
Yeah.
But then they're on SmackDown. She's on SmackDown, though, ain't she? She's on SmackDown, so you can't do that either.
Tag titles can be on both shows.
But they're on both shows, ain't they? They're on both shows, ain't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, you can do that then. You can, that's what I would do. And then you have Bianca and Jade as your immense, who can beat this tag team. And that's a good way of still protecting Jade for a while as well, while she's still learning the WWE way and learning her craft as well by partnering up with Bianca for
I don't think it's going to take long. I don't think it's going to take her long.
And then that's how you get to SummerSlam. It makes perfect sense. That's how you get to SummerSlam.
Absolutely. So, baby faces then? Going with
that?
All
day, everyone. Yeah, all day.
Nice. This next one.
This is intriguing.
I don't know what you think about this one, but I'll admit, like Dragon Lee. I don't mind Rey Mysterio. I think Rey Mysterio is coming to. I think he's definitely coming to the end of his career. Santos as a heel was so much better than being a babyface, and
Yeah,
Dominic
Santos is quality.
Mysterio.
Oh, I love
Dominic
Dirty
Mysterio.
Dom.
I still can't
How can
stand
you
the
not like
bitch.
him? How can you not
I
like
just don't.
Dirty Dom, man? I think he's great.
I just don't.
It's-
I just don't. Like
His character's
the,
perfect.
the man's in prison one day and he thinks he's been in there for a fucking lifetime with all
But
this shit. And I'm like,
that's his character, love. Right? That's his character. We
I know it is,
we know
I
that.
know it is. But
That's why it's so
the
good.
one thing.
And by the
I
way,
know it's
did
just
he
not-
have? Did Dominic have the best ring entrance last year at Mania? It it was quality, wasn't it?
I think it was great, but I think it was great. I'll admit, but it definitely wasn't the best.
Oh,
I
I
think it's
loved
the
it.
one that really. I think it was a good mug off entrance, though. I
Yeah.
admit it was a good mug off. But in
I-
terms of the best entrance in WrestleMania, no, I don't
I
think it
think-
was. I think
I think Ray lays down for his son.
Yeah.
I think Ray lays down for his son in this match. Give Ray his Mania moment.
It's got to be.
Yeah, because I think Ray. But look, Dominic Mysterio is wrestling without the Judgment Day for the first time since he's been without the Judgment Day. He's teaming with Santos. I think we're going to see Mysterio, Santos Escobar, and Andrade as a group.
Mm-hmm. And I'd also include Angel Garza. I think
Angel Garza, you know, them boys as well. And what's her name?
Leave her out. She sucks. Electra.
Yeah, but I think
sucks. She sucks.
I think she's part of it just because of who she is. So I think she.
I think that'd be a heel Zelina Vega. It should be a heel Zelina Vega, in my opinion.
And
your wife's watching this show, mate. You behave yourself.
Poor man, Selena.
Hold on. How come, Connor? I want to ask you. How can you not stand Dragon Lee? Just want to ask. I think it's
Dragon Lee.
I'd like to know why.
Dragon Lee's gotta be the WWE trying to make him the new Rey Mysterio, aren't they? That's what
I hope they don't. I don't think you should. I think some certain things just should stay as they are. And I like
Ray's
Dragon
Ray,
Lee's own
ain't he?
independence. Yeah, Dragon Lee's good in his own right and his own independence. I think you shouldn't remove his identity in the same way. It's like when they removed the identity of Psychosis and all that. You can't do that to them. Like, just don't do that.
They're looking for their next Mexican superstar, basically. Look, they might actually have it with Dominic. They might not actually look too far.
Who knows?
I love Dom. I do love him. I think his character's perfect.
So you've gone heels to win this one. You've got
Santos
man.
And Empire Strikes Back settings. You know the way. Yeah.
You know what's bad? Is I've gone for the New Hope. See, and I'm an Empire fan, like at heart, like Star Wars fan, but Empire's my favorite movie of all time.
Oh yeah.
I've gone for New Hope. I've gone for Carlito to fucking screw all four of them.
Carlito's a weird one. I don't actually want to see him wrestle. Because he can't.
I don't think anyone does. But there's something about Carlito where he has got.
Carlito gave Ray that sort of look. Did you notice it? On SmackDown when he introduced Dragon Lee, and the fans were saying Carlito, weren't they? And Carlito gave Ray that. Carlito gave Ray that look. That look was on purpose. That look was on purpose. So, yeah.
That's one of your turns this weekend.
Yeah,
he's one of them. I think there's at least two. I think there's 2 or 3 turns over.
Yeah, I think there is going to be some turns this weekend at Mania.
Carlito's the first. Carlito's the first to turn this weekend. So there's a
people might be surprised in my last one.
I'm gonna get ahead of you first because there's someone I actually think will turn this weekend, and I actually tweeted it quite recently. I don't know if you've seen it, but I tweeted a particular person will turn this weekend, and it's because of one man, and that's what I think. So I have gone for the heels to win. But I'm going, it's purely the sense that it's Carlito that completely slaps Ray about. I think Carlito takes Rey Mysterio out of the match completely, and Dragon Lee is forced to suffer on his own.
Yeah, I think I can see something like that happen, but I don't see any money in Ray and Dragon Lee winning. It makes sense for Dirty Dom and Santos to win this match.
Absolutely. And now, near enough
So-
good timing, actually. Near enough good timing into the show. 1 hour, 35 minutes in, we're now at the main event of night one. The Bloodline, the final
match.
boss. Well, I'll do it correctly. The final boss, The Rock, and the tribal cunt versus Cody Rhodes. And so everyone knows I hate Roman Reigns. If you don't, you do now. The Rock and Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes and Seth freaking Rollins.
It's gotta be a
Tag team match to main event.
Give me a match.
Stipulation, of course, if Rhodes and Rollins wins, then all members of the Bloodline will be barred from ringside for the main event Undisputed Universal title match on night 2. If Rock and Roman wins, the main event is Bloodline Rules. And we've already seen Bloodline Rules twice, and it's been a bit mixed. It's been a bit of a mixed match in terms of presentation, so we'll see how it goes. I'm going to flow at the back, by the way, and I'm going to say this right now before I even announce who I actually is going to say win this, because we already know who's won this weekend. This match is the last match that Paul Heyman will be associated to Roman Reigns. Paul Heyman is turning on Sunday.
You're in Paul's turning on Sunday.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay. That's not what I was going.
That's my bold prediction on Sunday, that I think Paul Heyman turns on Sunday. And the reason why I think Paul Heyman turns on Sunday is because of what Rock did on Raw. That the whole scene of whipping Cody and the referees and Seth with the belt. The way that Paul Heyman specifically reacted out of the whole 3-year association, nearly 4-year association with Roman, he didn't react like that once. Not like that. Not the shit like the hiding his face and all that shit. He didn't react in that. He's done that before, but he never done it like that. You know what I mean? There was a slight change in the whole mannerism of Paul Heyman, and I think that's very important. If you're being impacted in such a way, that level of brutality, as much as they've got the power, because they've got one of the world titles, they've got the power on SmackDown, even though Nick Aldis is the champion. They've got that element of, well, they want to have an element of fear, even though I think the storyline is losing itself. I think Paul Heyman is actually at the point where actually he needs to look. He's got to think, actually, maybe this isn't what I want. Maybe this isn't what I need anymore. And I think Paul Heyman has already narrowed down to 2 people for who his next guy is. If he goes to Raw, 100%, it's Paul Heyman and Gunther by a landslide. If he stays on SmackDown, Paul Heyman will manage Braun Breaker to the Money in the Bank win.
That's a,
And
that's a shout.
I said Braun Breaker to win it last year, but obviously they didn't put him in it, so I was pissed off. And I had to see Damian Priest live win it. I think if Braun Breaker's in it with Paul Heyman, he will win it. And I actually think he will just go and I think he will take the WWE title when it goes back to being. I think he could. Gunther could take the world title off like a McIntyre or whoever's in that feeling.
Braun Breaker. Because I heard someone say about a month or so ago that Braun Breaker took Lesnar's spot. Now a lot of people see a lot of Braun Breaker and Lesnar, and
I just see Scott Steiner at his peak when he was an absolute wrecking machine.
And I think if he associated with Paul Heyman, it would do him a world of good.
Yeah,
you know, it could. But that's on Sunday. What about this match though?
So I'm very likely to be wrong though about Heyman turning, but I do think if it's not the end on Sunday, it's the beginning of the end because The Rock has really established it. This match, is going to go about 30, 35 minutes, depending on Rock's conditioning. I don't
I
think this.
think this goes an hour.
They're going to give a lot of time on this because of who's
Mm.
actually involved. Cody can go the distance. Seth can go the distance. Roman likes to do 5-10 minute stare downs, and The Rock is just, well, it's The Rock. He knows what he likes in a concept, and I think
the entrance is going to take 10 minutes. The entrance is
Yep.
going to take 10 minutes, and then the start of the match when the bell rings, before they do anything, there'd probably be another 5 minutes, because the fans are just going to be eating it up. They're going to be staring at each other, all this posing. The fans are going to be just going mad, and and then it'll settle down and the bell rings and the match starts. So by the time the match actually starts, it could have been 20 minutes gone. So I do think this could be given a full hour. I really do.
And I think obviously there is elements here. This match, even though The Rock has TKO power and he's on the board, this match can lose by disqualification and a count out.
Mhm.
There are rules, because you've got to have the element of no rules on Sunday if the Bloodline win. You have to maintain. You can't have it back to back, because it takes away from night 2. You've got to maintain some element.
Should we just put it out there? The Rock ain't coming back to not win. Just put it out there right now.
The Rock ain't coming back to not be the one who gets the pin.
I think The Rock pins Seth, personally.
I think Rock pins Cody.
But then the only problem is then Cody's lost at Mania before he fights Roman.
Exactly.
And that could go two ways. Yeah, it could also go two ways. Yeah, look, I think the heels have to win, because firstly, I think the heels win because they brought up the thing of a Bloodline street fight, Bloodline rules, and you wouldn't bring that up if you weren't going to use it, in my opinion. And they gave us a teaser on Raw, didn't they? So they gave us a teaser on Raw to say, this is what it could be like with The Rock and Roman involved. So
if
it could
actually put effort in, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think Sunday's main event is going to be so overbooked, but it's going to be beautifully overbooked, if you know what I mean.
I worry about these kind of overbooked.
I think we're going to get
I do worry about these overbooked. I do worry about going over the top for overbooking a match, because we've seen it before where they overbook something and it falls so flat.
Well, let's put it this way. If Cody and Seth win, if we go on what WWE usually do, the people that's standing over the person on TV usually loses on the pay-per-view the next night. Yeah, that's usually what happens. So the Rock has got the best over. Yeah, the Rock has got the best over Cody for 2 endings of Raw in a row. So usually WWE match, we usually say that means the person who is going to win it on the pay-per-view, because there's 2 nights it can change. And if Cody and Seth win, right, and there's no Bloodline interference, my whole worry, and I've had this little worry in the back of my mind since they said to help each other, is that Seth screws Cody, right? And if that happens, because that would be my worry. I would be actually anxious to watch Sunday night, because no Bloodline rules. Roman can't win a match without interference. We know this. I can't remember the last time I watched a match clean. So he wins with interference.
Last time I seen him win clean
was it LA Knight?
I was going to say Cena at SummerSlam.
Yeah, that was it. That's 2 years ago. So I don't.
It's no holds barred.
So that would be my worry. I don't want Seth Costic, because it would work in Seth's character as well. We did it to the Shield. It would work in Seth's character. He's never forgiven Cody. He doesn't like Cody. He doesn't want Cody to have all. He pooed down on Seth's title and went for Roman's one when he told him not to, because you can't beat him, and he's going to screw him. And it's been predictable since the day they became a tag team, and he's backed him up that this looks like it's the way it's going. If you go with what Triple H said today, it looks like he's preparing everyone for that outcome. But I can't do Roman for another year for the title. I literally can't do it. We ain't going. I can't do it. So the heels have got to win. It's the Empire Strikes Back moment. The Bloodline win. Rock and Roman standing over a dead Seth and Cody. You know, and then you think about night 2. You're like, how does Seth fight Drew now? How does he fight Drew now? You know, after getting a beating, what's Cody going to do in Bloodline rules? How the hell does he go win that match? And if you think about it, if you want to, Cody's the ultimate babyface, you should be putting all this in front of him for Cody to prevail and win. So it makes the most sense. So I'm going for the heels to win, Bloodline win. Rock gets the pin, gets the win, and yeah, that's how we can end up night 1. And I think everyone would be happy with that because everyone will know night 2, Cody's going to win, and the crowd will be electric that night.
Here's something absolutely funny though. Something about what you were saying there, and I've got 2 quick points. One, if Rollins and Rhodes actually beats Bloodline and we get no interference, I think there's another potential factor.
What, a brand new member that we don't debuted yet?
No. I think you've already done that. If you do that again, then you've pissed.
Well, we all know he's coming. We all know he's coming to WWE anytime now.
True.
From New Japan Wrestling.
Absolutely. But what I was also going to say,
Tamatonga.
He's absolutely fucking boring, by the way. Just saying. Tamatonga sucks ass. What I'm going to say, and this is what I was thinking, because it kind of ties into what I said. If all members of the Bloodline are barred from ringside, one of them still won't be ringside, by the way.
No, he said Paul Heyman's banned.
I reckon Paul Heyman would still be at ringside.
I don't know. I think The Rock in his promo said the Wise Man would be banned as well.
If he's banned, then it kind of fucks up what I'm about to say. But because I was going to say that's another moment where technically you could still randomly get a ref bump because it's going to happen. You get a ref bump. Paul Heyman comes out. Paul Heyman screws Roman. Paul Heyman could still screw. Not siding with Cody. He just screws him. He just screws him.
I just thought it was even worse.
But here's the other thing I'm thinking of. CM Punk is still at WrestleMania. CM Punk could still screw Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
And there's your SummerSlam match.
Yeah, I think that will be the SummerSlam match.
Or whenever Punk's arm starts working again.
I don't think Punk's that far away. My whole thing, there's a certain Uso ain't actually part of the Bloodline at the moment. And Jay's not officially part of the Bloodline.
Neither's Zilla Fatu.
Yeah, Tamatonga.
And Joseph.
Yeah,
Fuck Tamatonga. He sucks. Fuck Tamatonga. He sucks.
I know what everyone's going to say he's part of Tongan wrestling, but The Rock called him a cousin, didn't he? So their family goes back. I know he's not Samoan, but
yeah,
They called him Uncle Haku, don't they? So they go back. They're part of. He calls it a family anyway. So even if they're not officially bloodline, but
the island boys always have a strong connection together.
Connor, that is, I think, what's going to happen on night 2. I'll get to that. I do think that's what's going to happen, and I will lose my shit if that does happen because that'd be beautiful. But yeah, the Hills win this.
It's still a possibility.
The Hills.
They have to. It'd be a waste to just announce Bloodline rules. I also think as well, the whole idea of if Rhodes Rollins wins, all members of the Bloodline will be barred from ringside. You know what's worse? How would they went further? Fuck it. They're barred from ringside. End this once and for all. Rollins is nowhere near as well. Rhodes versus Roman. It's been a long time since it happened at WrestleMania in a good way because I didn't think it was particularly good last year. I think it was unfortunate due to injury. Undisputed Universal title, Bloodline banned from ringside. Roman versus Rhodes inside Hell in a Cell should have happened.
Yeah.
Because isn't it kind of ironic? You're not going to get a War Games at WrestleMania. But War Games, of course, was a Dusty Rhodes
Yes.
invention. It was
Yeah.
a Dusty Rhodes invention in 1988. So why not put both men inside a cage and let them batter it out once and for all?
You could, yeah. I mean, anything can happen in his blood, right? They might bring down a cage for all we bloody know.
If
I'm
it does,
saying,
I've called it. If it does, I've called it.
I mean,
I will
it would
take
be,
that.
it would be. They, for me, they wouldn't talk about bloodline rules if they weren't going to do it.
You can't.
And they
You just
and,
physically can't.
and they gave you a teaser of it on Monday Night Raw, which they didn't need to do. You didn't need to have that. So, yeah, I personally, I think you tease it, you're gonna have to do it, and you got to put you can't put the baby face with the advantage. It doesn't work. The baby
Daz has
face is
actually
meant.
gone.
The
Daz has gone
heels are
for
meant to
Seth
have
Cody.
advantage.
Yeah, they should.
If Seth Cody wins, that tells me that Seth's screwing Cody because Cody ain't winning both nights. It just don't make sense.
If Seth and Cody wins, then Damian Priest becomes either champion, which I don't want to happen anyway.
Yeah, Seth, the Hills have to win this match. If the Hills, if I finish Saturday night and I'm like, this has been a great card so far. The main event's kicking off now. I'm sitting back enjoying that, and then I see the faces win. I'm like, oh, I don't even want to watch night two. So the Hills need to win for me. Hills need to win.
Yeah,
Empire settings, guys. Empire settings.
Yeah, absolutely. We're getting the disarm. We're getting the full disarm. Right.
This is a good card as well.
Six matches. We've got a long way to go, but again, it's time for Ailey's predictions. So, here is 2 minutes 16 seconds of night 3 of predictions. Here we go. Night 2. Over to you, Ailey Chambers.
Match number 4 on night 2. Logan Paul defending against Randy Orton and Kevin Owens. I would love to see Kevin Owens win this match. But I think Logan Paul's going to retain. And I think that because maybe it will be like the Fatal 4-Way at the Rumble, where the challengers sort of cost each other, allow the champion to just sort of swoop in and take the victory. I didn't even know this match was happening. The Pride versus the Final Testament. I don't know. I really. Then again, I guess Cody could be pinned because Seth maybe won't get.
I'm stopping that video. I'm playing this one because this is the right order.
Because night 2's card,
there's a moment for everybody.
According to the Wikipedia order, opens with Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre, and I don't think that Seth's keeping this title. It will depend on if Drew has re-signed. I think he has. Reports keep coming out saying that he hasn't, but I don't see why he would even be getting this spot if he hadn't re-signed or agreed to re-sign. But I think Drew McIntyre's got to win the belt. I think he has to be holding the belt when CM Punk comes back, and I think that's a very natural feud that they've built there. Io Sky defends against Bayley. I think Io Sky loses to Bayley here. I think this is a big moment for Bayley, and that's great and everything. I just, for me, Bayley's a bit meh, just compared to what we could have. But it'll still be a good match because Io Sky's there and she's fantastic. In at match number 3, LA Knight versus AJ Styles. Another potential pick for the match of the entire weekend if these two get to do what they do. AJ Styles very good at the 20-25 minute WrestleMania sort of slept on classic. If you look at Styles Orton, Styles Jericho, Styles Edge, LA Knight, well, an unknown quantity at WrestleMania. We don't know what he can really do, so let's see it. Really good matchup here, obviously from that show that 4 people in a barn watch. But I think this is going to be a really good match, and I think LA Knight's got to go over. I understand that AJ Styles is obviously, he's not got the greatest recent record. I know it's better than what it used to be after he beat Finn Balor. I think it was in Saudi. But still, he needs to, I think LA Knight needs to win. And I think AJ Styles might just have to eat another loss here. They could go the other way about it, but I also think that LA Knight's probably got to go over to Raw for reasons that'll be clear later. So, LA Knight probably needs to win.
So that was that part. So that was me getting it wrong in wrong order. Here's the last part, which we're going to allude to. So you've already heard part of it, so let's do it again.
Match number 4 on night 2. Logan Paul defending against Randy Orton and Kevin Owens. I would love to see Kevin Owens win this match. But I think Logan Paul's going to retain. And I think that because maybe it'll be like the Fatal 4-Way at the Rumble, where the challengers sort of cost each other, allow the champion to just sort of swoop in and take the victory. I didn't even know this match was happening. The Pride versus the Final Testament. I don't know. I really don't know. And I'm not sure I care either. This hasn't been built very well. I really struggle to care. And it's a shame because Bobby Lashley's brilliant and Karrion Kross has potential to be brilliant. But the way that it's been built, the way that it's going, no, can't see myself being too interested in this one. In terms of winner, I guess the Final Testament, I really don't know. I'm guessing this has just been added because I didn't even know it was on the card. And then the main event, will Cody Rhodes finish the story? Yeah, I think he's got to. I think even if it is Bloodline rules, he has to finish the story. He has to become the undisputed WWE Universal Champion. And that's just the way it's got to be. This is the end of this Roman Reigns reign. It's been a long one. At times it's been great. At times it has been horrible, like the worst of Brock Lesnar sort of stuff. But yeah, I think Cody has to win the belt. I think Cody has to win the main event, and then I wonder if maybe Judgment Day are going to cash in and ruin that visual. But no, I'll maintain the hope. Cody Rhodes to win the main event, WrestleMania 40.
And there you have it. That's Ailey's predictions. So just to recap for everyone listening, Drew McIntyre, Bailey. I'm going to let Jamie cook on that response because his reaction says a lot there. LA Knight, Logan Paul, the Final Testament. That's an interesting one. I want to talk about that one when we get to it in a little bit of detail. And of course, she's went Cody Rhodes. Let's start, of course, with the world title. Off the bat, the best full-time worker right now in terms of consistency, character development, character evolution, promo work, use of social media, in-ring style, expert at trolling like an absolute proper cunt, because that's what the Scottish are. We are like that.
I guess so. I guess.
It's true. We're levels above. We're levels above. We're levels above.
I'm not saying anything.
Yeah, but we're levels above. Drew McIntyre right now is the absolute best thing on Raw.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because of the fact of what he's done in the past 4 or 5 months. He's changed it ever since. Prior to the match in Saudi, it was hot and cold. He wanted to get there. He just couldn't find it. The way he lost the match, bingo. It snaps. The switch is off now. That like the switch is off and being stupid. The switch is on for the actual work and the concept of him going forward. He's become what he hates. He has become what he hates. He's that hypocritical, whining, bitching human being in that way, but he does it in such a brilliantly delivered way of realism. He blends it all together, and it's the added segment of the funeral point where he's talking about, well, like he's pretty much alluded to the fact that Rollins' reign on Sunday is dead. He's adamant about it. He's let him off the hook once. He let him off the hook in Saudi. He hesitated. He failed. He had the rematch. He failed. Now he's went, nah, third time is not going to hold me back. Third time's the charm. And I'm going to do it. But it's also the fact is, it's the element of the fact he loves to troll CM Punk the way he's done it ever since. I think it's worked really well for him. I think the added conjecture of all the shirts he does, like putting people on names just to wind them up, it's added to elements of Drew's character. It's got Drew spoken about again that he did 3-4 years ago. He hasn't been like that in a while. He's maintained that now. It's the best work he's done in years. And it's maintained his position as the top guy. Ailey made a great point about if he wouldn't be in this position if he hadn't re-signed his contract. Otherwise, what's the point? I said it before that if you're not fully committed to the company you're in, you shouldn't be in a world title main event on the big show. You shouldn't be. Or even if you're
he's got a deal. Yeah.
Yeah. You're in that position for the right reason. I think he has to that degree. And I actually am going to go on a limb. I think Drew McIntyre is going to absolutely ruin Seth Rollins this weekend. It's just not going to be even. You cannot have a balanced match if he's having an absolute long durational match on the night before. Doesn't matter how much distance that Seth can go. The extreme levels of intensity on Saturday night. You cannot walk in a match on Sunday and all of a sudden it's 50-50. No. On Sunday, this has got to be 90%, 10%. Rollins only should be going to have a 10% chance of winning this. This should be all in. Drew McIntyre has got the favorite. He's got to fucking tear him apart. There's no other way to put it. There's no other element of, but I'm the world champion. I've been champion for nearly, I'm 50 days away from being champion for a full year. He's got to get absolutely battered. And I'm going to say it, 25 minutes of Drew McIntyre kicking the living absolute shit out of Seth Rollins, and Drew McIntyre's walking out world champion this weekend. Done. He will not be cashed on. I'm adamant of that. Drew McIntyre will not be cashed on Sunday.
So that's how I see it. This is Babyface Sunday. Seth's retaining.
Bastard.
Yeah. If Seth and Cody are losing in the biggest tag team match in Mania history, right? Both of them are not going to lose the next night. They're just not. If Seth
Liverpool fans are coming for you now, I'm just going to say this: they're going to come for you all in one now.
If Seth's the baby face, if we do this wrestling strategically, if he's the baby face for adversity, he's been beaten up by The Rock and that, he's probably taking the pinfall. Then he's opening the next night against Drew. Drew is that cocky heel where he thinks, like, I told you, Seth, you should have just concentrated on me. You shouldn't have gone and done this Cody thing. You're not in shape anymore. This is easy work for me. And Seth wins the match, retains his title. But I think that's not the end of the night. That's not the end of you see of them all night, because I think Drew and Seth get involved in the main event at the end of the evening as well. So, and then Drew's got a lot of other things he can be doing. And then I think you do Seth and Drew at Backlash, and Drew wins it there.
But here's the thing, though. Just a question, and I think that's a very valid point. But if Drew does lose on Sunday, why does Drew deserve to get a fourth world title match in the space of 5.5 months? What gives Drew the right to have another world title match? That's like what I said Chad Gable against Gunther. I'm using the same. I'm using the exact same logic and context in that case. If he loses on Sunday, he doesn't deserve another world title match. For me, it's all or nothing on Sunday.
Yeah.
He either wins or he's secretly a Tottenham fan.
But then what do you do with Seth? Because if Seth's lost 2 matches in a row, in 2 massive matches, what do you actually do with Rollins? He's lost 2 matches in a row on one weekend. I just don't see Cody and I just don't see Cody and Seth. Yeah, I just don't see Cody and Seth losing 2 matches on the same weekend. This is my issue with it. I literally think this is Babyface Sunday, and
I think one can get away with it.
I,
I think one
I,
can get away with it, though. You know what I mean?
I
I
think
think
Seth.
one can get away with it.
I think Seth retains. This what happened to me. I think Seth retains, right, and then the next night of Raw, Drew is fuming. He's bitter. He's angry, and he beats the holy living hell out of Seth Rollins. Priest comes in and cashes in, wins the title, and then Drew McIntyre beats Priest for the title at Backlash. I just don't. Drew's character, it don't. I just feel like I just don't think Cody and Seth can. But like Seth is a champion. He's going to lose the tag match again in that big main event in night 1. Night 2 is the babyface, so it's against Adversity. Babyfaces should win against Adversity, and that's Wrestling 101. You know, what do you do with Seth after that? Do you give him a rematch at Backlash? Drew versus Seth at Backlash? That would be the rematch, wouldn't it? I want Seth just wins it back at Backlash. Then that don't make sense for Drew. You know, Drew's going to be champion going into the Scottish pay-per-view. There's no doubt about that. He's going to be champion. I'd rather Drew actually be champion and defend it and win in Scotland than win it in Scotland. I think that'd be better for him.
I do not want him winning it.
And then Drew versus Gunther is your match in Berlin.
I think your match in Berlin could well be a returning Seth Rollins versus Gunther for the world title.
Yeah, because Drew's got to be champion before Scotland, in my opinion. And when's that?
I think
June?
Drew gets short.
Is that June?
Yeah, June 14th. June 14th.
And SummerSlam and
you got
Berlin are like 3 weeks apart, ain't they?
There's Backlash. I think you got Backlash. Actually, hold on. The July pay-per-view is Money in the Bank. Actually, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
you could have and I've said Braun Breaker. You could have a mad shock where Seth wins another Money in the Bank as well, and just immediately cashes in. And then Seth just says, "I want my title back at SummerSlam." Drew versus Seth at SummerSlam. He wins it, and then you go Berlin. Gunther goes, "Fuck you."
My still whole worry on this whole thing is Seth loses. It's just Seth's gonna blame Cody, right?
Good. Fuck
and
Cody.
Then
fuck Cody.
And then he's right. I've got this really bad feeling. The more I'm thinking about this,
I'm starting to like this. I'm starting to love your pain, dude. Just as much I loved your pain when you said Kobe Mania wasn't that good either.
That Triple H video on the McAfee show is still in my head about he's preparing us for the worst, in my opinion. If Seth loses this match against Drew, I think Seth blames Cody, and even in Bloodline rules, he still screws Cody. And then Cody and Seth is your feud. Although we've already seen 3 matches between them, that could be the feud. And then McIntyre.
Surely one of them Seth gets a win. Surely one of them Seth does get a win somewhere.
Because
Drew lose everyone.
Drew Punk is the obvious direction. Yeah, that is the most.
When he comes back, yeah.
I actually think Drew's actually feuding with Punk more than he is Seth right now.
It's so funny.
He's actually feuding more with Punk right now than he is feuding with Rollins. And you know, Punk is on commentary in this match. He's going to get involved.
He is.
I think Punk made a point on the MMA Hour when he said, "Yeah, my arm's feeling really good. I sometimes forget I've not got an injury." I think he said that line on purpose because I think Drew's going to take him out.
Yeah.
And take that arm. He's going to take the stuff off the arm and really do damage to it. And I think that lets Punk then be off till the summer, and then you get that Drew Punk match.
Well, I've checked here as well, specifically. So, Backlash is May 4th. Star Wars Day.
With you. There you go.
So Saturday, May 4th in Lyon. It's Backlash.
No pay-per-views in America till SummerSlam, I believe.
Yep. And also, here's the funny thing. On the Backlash poster, it's an RKO and Dominic Mysterio. Just saying.
It's a US title match.
Yep. Clash at the Castle, Scotland is June 15th
That's
in
true.
the Hydro, which will be absolute peak. And it's the first. It's even better that it's the second since SummerSlam, and obviously, yeah, Clash at the Castle. This is where it gets interesting, though. So you have, as I said there, you've got Money in the Money in the Bank is obviously in July.
That's in
July,
Canada, isn't it?
Yeah, in Toronto. July 6th on the Saturday is Money in the Bank. SummerSlam is August 3rd
Oh, day off
in,
my birthday.
in Cleveland. The
Logan
second
Paul.
in Cleveland. The second in Cleveland since '96. Funnily enough,
Mhm.
in a long time since that infamous Vader versus Michaels main event. Bash in the Berlin, however,
It's the end of August, isn't it?
is August 31st.
Yeah.
So
That's
I
going to be a
think
bit. That's going to be a big show. It's going to be a big show.
There's a lot coming for that, and I think you've got a lot.
We got to remember, we got a like Triple H said, there'll be a draft in a month's time.
Yep.
So
And I think Gunther's going to the SmackDown where the world title is going to be, and the WWE title is coming back to Raw.
yeah, that's what I think's going to happen. I think Cody's going to win the title and be on Raw with that title and not on SmackDown. You can't put. There's no way Cody works on SmackDown. Just has to be on Raw for the Netflix deal. So yeah, Cody will be on Raw.
Took them long enough, eh? Took them long enough, eh, bud?
Yeah, thank Triple H for this. He's the one who wanted to do these world tours. He's the one.
Best fans are UK fans.
He tried to do it with NXT as well and take NXT on tour. It's unfortunately a grumpy old man who's so out of touch. Yeah,
they didn't get the UK scene. They didn't understand the UK scene with NXT, which didn't help. But yeah, so that's the big. So that was the big one. So I've gone Drew, you've gone Seth, Daz has gone Seth, Connor's gone Drew, Ailey's gone Drew, Mallow's gone for Drew as well. Daz, the draft is in a month's time, so literally right after Backlash.
Yeah.
It'll probably be, I would say it's the Raw or SmackDown, not immediately after the draft, but it'll be the following week. I don't think they'll do it straight away. I think they'll say, well, this, or they might start the draft on the SmackDown and it carries into Raw. But that's where it's going to be. It's just after Backlash. So in May. I'll say May. I'll say May. I think May 10th, May 11th, whenever it is. No, be May 13th. Yeah, that'll be the month. That's the Monday. I'll say May 13th. The second Raw in May is when I think the draft will happen.
That's what I reckon.
Night two's second match. Got a reaction out of you, my friend.
I love Bailey.
Ailey's prediction on Bailey, of course, is what really raised the eyebrow for you in that sense of the meh feeling. Now, it has been a little bit hot and cold, this feud. It has been. It's picking up a little bit. I like what they've done with the whole betrayal thing. I think Dakota Kai is still the leader of the faction, but the faction's coming to an end anyway.
Yeah.
We all agree on that. The faction's coming to an end. But this is Bailey's moment. Connor's also said Bailey's got to win. Where are you at with Bailey now after the fact that last year she had more losses than pretty much anyone can have? I'm hoping Solo does worse. But in circumstance, where are you at with Bailey's work? And you're locked in Bailey to win on Sunday.
Yeah, I like Bailey. I'm that guy. I like Bailey, man. I actually think the hugging version of Bailey returns at this match.
Oh, please no. Please no, don't do that to me.
I think that returns. Bailey needs to win. Bailey needs to win. Io Sky, it's just not that person, in my opinion. The title's not lifted her, and she's not lifted the title. And I think Bayley can do a really good job as champion on the SmackDown brand as the women's world champion. Yeah, I feel like if you're doing this story, you know, of she wins. I think she wins, and I think she defends us against Dakota Kai at Backlash.
That's what I hope for.
I think that'll be the match at Backlash. So yeah, I'm going Bayley.
I still hope Dakota wins Money in the Bank. That's what I hope for. I hope she wins Money in the Bank, and then after this, I hope she's just the last one. Just like whoever wins the men's Money in the Bank, I hope they're the last two, and you just retire the concept because they fucked about it for too long, and it doesn't feel right anymore. Connor saying, "I'm going to be anti-Bayley if the hugger comes back." So will I, because I would like her to be, even if she's a babyface, still maintain some seriousness. If she goes back to being a hugger, you may as well bring back Alexa Bliss just to troll the fuck out of her.
I think she might just do it for one night, sort of thing, just for Mania, but just for the reaction and the pop. I don't think she'll go full throttle. I think she just brings it.
Then she'd lose. If
she just brings
it all interest.
Yeah, I think she just brings it back for that night. Like you start with that entrance, and then the entrance goes into a new one in a way. You mold it in, sort of thing.
All right, fair enough. I'll let you off. Because if you,
you don't need to go back to that full time. That's done. But it'd just be a Mania thing, wouldn't it, to do that moment? And she hasn't been a babyface for years. This is something we've got to remember. Bayley's been heel for time. Bayley turned heel on the debut of SmackDown going to Fox.
Yeah, which was 5 years ago.
And I think she beat Charlotte for the title on that, didn't she? So
yeah, she started that year-long title reign.
Yeah, so she's and she carried the WWE through the pandemic. She
really will.
Yeah,
did get her flowers for it. I think not by a lot of people.
She carried the company through the pandemic. She was excellent in that time, and she's been a heel for a while. So a big face return at Mania, wins the title, and then goes to face Dakota Kai at Backlash. I think that's the obvious.
I think you could generally have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months of. It's not the faction; it's just the members. But you could have the first 4 or 5 reign, or 6, depending on how far you stretch it. You could literally just have Bayley go, I've beaten Io Sky. I need to give her a rematch. You have the rematch. Kai asserts her dominance, but she isn't the next one. I think you go through Io into Kyrie, then Asuka, and then it concludes. Then it concludes with Dakota Kai beating Bayley for the title.
Yeah. That could work as well, definitely.
I would have them all the way through. They can't manage it. They can't. It's just elements of they're all slightly similar. They can't beat her. Dakota Kai completely unpredictable. Dakota Kai just goes, "I'll just beat you with a steel chair." Ironically, I think Dakota Kai could be the one who takes the title off Bayley.
I don't see at any point of VO retaining. As I said, I just don't think the championship. She hasn't upped the title. The title hasn't upped her.
I feel bad for her because she has quality. I feel bad for her.
She's a quality wrestler, but some wrestlers just don't suit being champion. They just don't.
I think she'd be a great chaser. I think she'd be a great chaser. She got her moment last year and she rightfully deserved
it. All the fans were behind her when she was chasing, weren't they? We was all wanting her to be champion. But it's a bit like Daniel Bryan. The chase was more exciting than him winning the belt. And
it's hard to maintain the chase. It's hard to maintain being.
Oh.
But a lot of people liked Undertaker being a champion. I didn't.
No,
he got his moments. He deserved some titles, but he was better as a chaser.
He never needed a belt, did he? He's the Undertaker, you know what I mean? But
I think a great example of someone who is both a great chaser and a great champion is Kurt Angle.
Kurt Angle, Bret Hart, Austin.
They had the elements of I can chase it or I can be a great champion. I don't, and this is going to get a lot of people probably coming after me. I thought Triple H was terrible as a chaser. I thought he was awful in the chaser role.
Better as a champion.
But he's shone as a champion.
Yeah, he looked like a champion, didn't he? Exactly.
He really couldn't do it. He could not do it at all. And that element for me, and I think that's what's key. I think Randy Orton's a better champion than chaser. I don't think he's in the chaser role.
I forgot one thing as well in the night one. The reason I think Rhea Ripley has win as well, because I think Rhea Ripley has got to defend the title against Liv Morgan. So
Fuck Liv Morgan.
I
know
love Liv
Daz
Morgan.
is actually put in the chat, but
Yeah, that's why it
I
reminds me.
think
I love Liv
I think she's
Morgan.
overrated. I'll say this though. Io, so he's saying Io for the win. Okay, so he's actually going for a heel defense.
Yeah,
What I'm going to say though, I think for the draft, world champion, women's world champion goes to SmackDown. Undisputed Universal Champion is discarded. It's WWE Champion, and hopefully it never changes again. It stays that way.
yeah.
And WWE Women's Champion goes to Raw.
Yeah, I think all the titles swap.
And I hope so. I hope they do. 31 people watching. Hello there. Good evening to you all. Hope you're all doing well. And thanks for tuning in. Of course, like come over to YouTube, whatever you want to do. Like, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to Jamie's channel as well. We'll be getting Jamie a shout out his channel as well at the very end of the show. Because we've been killing it for 2 hours and 21 minutes, and this has fucking flown by. I've absolutely loved this show tonight. So I've gone for Bailey. You've gone for Bailey. Only one EO, and that is Daz. Daz, if you get this, fair play to you. The next one, I'm buzzing for this because I fucking love AJ Styles. I love LA Knight.
Yeah,
I
I'm
loved
looking
them
forward to this.
I loved them when they were both in TNA. I loved their work in NWA, and obviously when AJ was in New Japan. I think both are absolutely excellent. I think on a work-wise, you've got the brawler with the talk element of LA Knight, and the moldy technical brawler of AJ Styles, who's also good in the mic. You've got a very strong feud here. This has been built brilliantly, and I'm going to go in the back. I know that Ailey went for LA Knight. I don't. Fuck. See, I think this is generally going to be incredible to watch. If they do actually give it time, this needs over 15 minutes. You got to let AJ actually have time with LA Knight, because it won't expose LA Knight. It'll actually see if LA Knight can actually work a long match that's actually of interest.
I think that's why he's got this match.
Yeah, you really need this is a bigger test for LA Knight than Roman Reigns was, in my opinion.
Yeah.
This is a real test. AJ Styles is a real test. And I think he fails the first hurdle. I think AJ Styles wins at WrestleMania.
I do as well. I think AJ wins this because if you look at the feud so far, LA Knight's been the aggressor.
Yeah.
In the feud so far. So for that matter, I'd say AJ wins. And I don't think AJ's had a big win in time. So
it's been a long time, yeah.
Yeah, so I think AJ wins, and this is going to be a sleeper of a match. I don't think people are expecting much out of it, but I think this could. I think if it's just given time, I think this match will surprise people because LA Knight can go. He's entertaining as well. You get the entertainment factor from him, and AJ's AJ. I mean, come on. And there's bad blood in this match. There's literally bad blood in this match. LA Knight almost broke AJ's nose earlier today. What looked like a real scuffle. Thought he came off really well. I think their feud's been picking up recently. I mean, AJ travelled halfway around the world just to hit someone with a steel chair. You know what I mean? It's just
that's just peak. That's peak heel work.
I thought LA Knight turning up at AJ was fantastic. I thought that was really well done. I loved the fact that it was caught on dash cam as well. I thought the way they did it, that it wasn't a whole invasion angle. It was just him turning up at legitimately. And if anyone's watched AJ stuff behind the scenes, that was legitimately AJ's house.
It was.
And that was his real wife that was coming out with him as well. So I think this has been building nicely, and I think this will be. I don't think people are reckoning this will be any good, but I think it'll be the sleeper of the night where I think people are surprised how good this match is. But I think Styles gets the win.
When you look at match quality, I agree. You can't just have the babyface win this one. It would actually derail Styles in that way. We don't need Styles to be derailed. We don't need LA Knight to win either. Like he doesn't.
There's more
think
to
we
this
need
feud
to win.
yet. There's more to this feud yet for
Exactly.
me. So that's why I think if AJ wins, LA Knight, he will want his like rematch of AJ. So yeah, that's why it makes sense for AJ to win.
Yep. I'm going to go into this as well because I think this is actually really key because it lives up to the next match as well. It's all about they're both veterans. They are like this is a veteran match, but in terms of big match experience, AJ trumps LA Knight by a landslide.
Oh yeah,
you've got to outwork AJ, and not many people can. So it'll be interesting to see how that dynamic goes. The next match is the third title match of the night from third from 4. It is a triple threat. Logan Paul defends the US title versus Randy Orton and Kevin Owens. I'm not so sure about this one. A lot of people are excited for this one. Not gonna lie, I'm not excited for this match at all. And it's not because of Logan Paul, who I think is an absolute prick. It's not because Randy Orton is coming back from a back injury. I didn't want Kevin Owens anywhere near this, even though he's got involved with Logan Paul. I didn't want it. Like I don't want it like at all. I think you're going to get some form of tease though. I think the heel's going to really work this in fashion, and they've got to. But I also think you're getting another heel turn in this match. The second of the 3 turns I think are happening this weekend. The second one is in this match. And I'm going to go on a limb. I think it's Randy Orton that turns heel. Even if fans don't want to accept it, and fans don't want to boo the great man, Randy Orton is better as a heel than he is as a babyface.
Oh, yeah.
And I think Randy Orton will turn because I think Kevin Owens will fuck up an opportunity where Randy's got Logan Paul down with an RKO, goes for the pin. Kevin Owens, obviously, because it's the match concept, you can break a pin, you can break a submission. I think Kevin Owens will break up the pin, and in a distractive moment, LA Knight, who should have been in this match anyway, LA Knight should have been in this match. I just like saying LA Knight's name. Logan Paul will, in the midst of this, slowly start to recover. Kevin Owens, Randy Orton are obviously arguing in the ring. I think Logan Paul will, from behind, either do that punch or he'll just heavy shove Randy Orton into Kevin Owens, who falls back out the ring. And then you got a cheeky roll-up finish. And after that, Randy Orton gets absolutely pissed off with Kevin Owens, and he goes through the announce table with an RKO. So I think on Sunday, Randy Orton turns heel, Logan Paul retains with the cheap roll-up victory. What are you thinking, my man?
I don't think it makes any sense if Logan Paul don't win this match, to be perfectly honest. I think Randy and Kevin Owens have been too buddy all this time that they're going to end up screwing each other, and Logan's going to get that heel win, you know, that cheap heel win in a triple threat and steal it. Do you know what I mean? That's what I think is going to happen. So I think Logan, by the way, Logan as a person, whatever you think about him, as a novice wrestler, Logan's half good. Right. So
yeah.
I think this is going to be an entertaining matchup. I think Logan wins it, and I think Randy and Kevin is your sort of series for the next few months. I think they suit that. I think that'd be good. Randy turning on Kevin and giving him the punt would be great. We ain't seen that for a while. Randy giving Kevin the punt and taking Kevin Owens out for a little bit, because Kevin Owens does have a lot of time off in his contract to be with family and that, and I think that's coming up. So I think Randy might take Kevin Owens out with a punt, and I think Logan and Randy Orton rematch at Backlash, where Orton becomes US champion, and then we go Randy Orton, Kevin Owens feud for the US title over SummerSlam.
Not a bad shout. It's not a bad shout. Daz has gone Randy, and Connor also went Logan Paul.
I'd love to see Randy with the US title. I ain't gonna lie. I think, like, you remember when Cena got the US title for a while and made it, you know, it was fun. You know, I think Orton with the US title, I'm up for that, man. I think that'll be at Backlash. I think Logan wins it. Randy turns, punts Kevin Owens. We don't see KO again, and Randy wins the title against Logan Paul at Backlash, and then Orton and Kevin Owens is your SummerSlam US title match.
I can't stand too many factions, but not gonna lie, I would actually like a US champ Randy Orton as a leader of like a new evolution.
Yeah, I like Randy. I know a lot of people don't like Randy, and I get it. He's slow and methodical.
Because I think it's other things with what he's done behind the scenes with other
But
people. He's got
what
that.
I love about Randy now, he admits all that, don't he? In interviews, how much of a shit he was. I like Randy, man. I think Randy's a star. So,
Yep.
But I think I literally think Logan retains it storyline wise. It makes sense because he gets that cheap heel win in a triple threat and runs away with the title up the ramp, and then you leave Randy and Kevin arguing, and then
beat
you
the
get
piss
that heel
each other.
turn. Yeah,
exactly.
That makes perfect sense.
That's the two turns that's two of the three turns I've got. The next one, the Pride, Bobby Lashley, prick and cunt, with B-Fab versus the Final Testament, Karrion Kross, Akam and Razor with Scarlett Bordeaux, and one of the greatest managers of all time, and Paul Ellering.
Who's going to be looking at Paul? Poor Paul. No one's...
I feel sorry for him. He's quality. What's up, Dogmeister? Hope you're doing good, man.
I do.
Good to see you. This match is going to be epic.
Has anyone ever called them the Pride?
I did actually. Yeah, I've seen it.
Has it been up? Because that's what everyone says. Like, has anyone ever seen the Pride logo up when they? I think that's what they were originally called. I think this is going to be a good. Do you know? I think this is going to be a good match.
I've said it since day one. I'm not changing my mind. This group was literally dead on arrival from the beginning. Because I'm going to say it right now. The only good thing about this group is Bobby Lashley. Dawkins and Ford can get fucked. They are absolutely pish.
Don't you like them?
They are.
Quality,
they're pish. They are shit. I don't see like I get why people like certain people, but I see nothing about them as likable. Montez Ford is just Bianca Belair's side piece. Sorry,
they're a great tag team.
Dawkins is wank. Like Bobby Lashley is the only good thing about him. Like it's the only good thing about the group, and he needs to just turn on them. He won't do it, but he needs to.
I know this match has got zero build and came out of nowhere, but
it'll be mental.
I actually think this is going because it's a street fight, isn't it? Philadelphia street fight. I think this is going to be an exciting match.
Lashley. I'm only going to like it because of Lashley and Cross. It should have just been Cross with B-Fab.
I like Akam and Razor.
Lashley with B-Fab, and Cross with either Scarlett or Ellering at the ringside. But just do a street fight between those two and just end it once and for all. This has got to be the end of this.
I think B-Fab and Scarlett should be a 4 versus 4 match, in my opinion. You got them there, you might as well use them. Yeah, this is done. I think this is going to be a really fun match.
Cross has turned it around as well.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a fun match. I think Cross has finally found where he should be. I think this. I actually don't mind this group of Cross, Akam, and Razor. I think this is all right.
Yep,
they got to keep the group going. And I think this is going to be a fun street fight. You know, no tags, all in the ring. It's going to be mad. It's going to be mayhem. You know, you go have high flying moves from Dawkins and Ford. You go have the power moves from Akam and Razor, and then you go have that one-on-one aspect between Bobby Lashley and Cross.
MVP's injured, I believe. I'm pretty sure MVP's been injured for a while. I generally cannot stand this group, the Pride. I've never rated the Profits. I don't like their involvement with Bobby Lashley. I think
Pride to go win though.
If they win, I'll be physically sick.
They go win though. They go win. There's nothing in it that tells me the Testament to go win this match.
I think you've got to go with the Final Testament because the way they've been working themselves into this, they've finally got the momentum for Karrion Kross. Paul Ellering is an amazing manager, and I think he's the key to this group for how Cross maintains his element of with the crowd and what he's doing. I think Scarlett's fantastic anyway with presentation. Anyway, I think she adds a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Akam and Razor are excellent. They don't necessarily need to do much. They're just big brutes, but they can work in a brawling aspect. They can do all the tag shit, whilst Cross just picked one of them apart. But I think you've got to go with the fact that they've really got it, and also they've got more momentum and interest than the Pride do. It might be a nothing match to some people, but I think you've got to just rip it. You just got to rip it apart. For me, I'm going Final Testament.
Yeah,
and finally, Karrion Kross has got it. Karrion Kross has finally got it. And shout out to someone I'm in a group chat with who thinks Kross isn't going there. Joe. I'm, for the record, I've sat here for 2 hours and 35 minutes. I haven't complained once. Just saying. And Mallow says Final Testament needs this win. Hopefully this will be the end of the Suit Profits. I call them the Slut Profits because they're just a slut for shit matches. But yeah, it has to end. They suck. And Connor, yeah, you're absolutely right. She is fantastic. Right then. Okay. This show is going to go about 3 hours. So this is going to be about 25 minutes of battering this one. The main event. It is the undisputed title.
It's got to be Bloodline rules.
To be predetermined. It says determined. I'm going to stick with to be predetermined.
Yeah.
But it is Roman Reigns defending the title versus Cody Rhodes. It's the tribal cunt versus the Homelander politician. It's the fans' favourite versus somebody that people just don't want to be there anymore. This is where it really will determine WWE's future. Because this match has not been Roman versus Cody for build. It was last year. This year, it's all Roman out of the picture. It's Rock versus Cody for build.
Yeah.
That's what they've done. There's no element for it in shape or way. Daz says Cody for the win by DQ. If it's Bloodline rules, it's no holds barred. And if he wins by DQ on Sunday in a all Bloodlines barred, then he's got hard times again because he's won fuck all. That'd be hilarious. Like, that would be funny. Cody wins with interference from Stone Cold and John Cena. I swear to God, please do not give us John Cena. Steve Austin, 100%. I want a real legend. Don't give me John Cena.
Right, I'm gonna.
Just don't. I do not want bald spot there. Just don't.
I think because this, for me, it will be Bloodline rules because I think this is gonna be extremely overbooked, but extremely fun at the same time. Because
it's going to be so.
Obviously, The Rock, Jimmy, Jay, Rollins, McIntyre. I think they're all going to be involved in this match here because it's going to be Bloodline rules. It's going to be overbooked for madness. Yeah. I think this goes this way. If I'm booking it, I reckon we almost get the same kind of finish as we got at 39, right? And Rock is going to beat the absolute tar out of Cody, right? It's going to be because they've got to do something for the Rock not to be there the whole match. So something's got to happen in this show where the Rock's not involved in the whole match because the Rock could just sit there the whole match and just could be over in 5 minutes. So someone's going to take the Rock out and he's not going to be there for the whole show. Right, but the Rock comes back and then he starts beating the tar out of Cody, man. He completely beats the tar out of Cody, right? And we're all sitting there thinking, right, and the Michael Cole's going mad. So again, they've screwed Cody. Again, they screwed Cody. And that's when Triple H comes out.
We said this as well. Remember as well, if you remember,
Triple H is Rock's main feud, not Austin. Triple H is the COO of WWE. The Rock says he's the Rock. Listen, I listen to how they talk in interviews and how they do their promos. The Rock is basically calling himself the final boss. He's on the TKO board. I have all the say. No one tells me in WWE what to do. Where in fact, Triple H is the boss. He's the CEO, and I feel like he's had enough of all this, and he's going to come out, pedigree Rock, pedigree Roman. Roman gets up, crossroads. Cody wins the title. Triple H holds Cody's hand up, and then you think, oh my God, this is amazing. What a moment. What a moment. And then Triple H remembers what Cody did at AEW, pedigrees him. Priest comes out, cashes in, wins the title.
Okay, that's very interesting.
Overbooked clusterfuck anyone's ever seen in their lives.
It would definitely be an absolute clusterfuck.
But I actually take all that. That's just a bit of fun. I honestly think Triple H does get involved. He beats down The Rock. It leaves it 1-on-1 between Roman and Cody. Cody just gets the win. And everyone goes home happy. And Cody's your champion. And then on Raw the next night, he brings back the Wing Eagle title. And we get rid of the Gold Championship.
Yep. Can I also say one thing as well? Now, I'm not a fan of Busted Open, right? I think podcast wise, I think they're all right guys, but I just I've got no time for. I just don't pay attention as much. It's not my thing. But if you remember, at the Royal Rumble, funnily enough, we mentioned everyone involved apart from Stone Cold and Cena, right? We mentioned Rock could be or couldn't be. But we also mentioned one person as well, very specifically. And funnily enough, they have 57,000 views. But but this channel, not me, this channel is taking all the fucking credit. And this is why. When it shows, I'm going to show you, this channel is going to take the credit. Because if you go back and watch the Royal Rumble preview, me, Jamie, and Ailey all said this. No one else did. We did. And if you don't believe us, go back to the Rumble preview show, because we fucking did. And then the night after, like the show after that, I said the six-pack ladder match or the six-pack challenge at WrestleMania. No matter the stipulation, I said six-pack challenge at WrestleMania. We said this as well.
Yeah, and Triple H has not got involved in any of this. It's been very quiet. And look, Rock and Austin have probably got the famous rivalry, but in reality, Triple H and Rock had many massive, loads of moments and matches. So,
and I still believe there's still a little bit of heat and animosity because of what happened. In 7.
Yeah, and the Rock is like a member of the board, and he thinks he can do whatever he wants, and Triple H is really the boss, and for real. And I just feel like Triple H is gonna have enough of Rock doing what he wants on his show, and he's gonna put a stop to it. Look, I'd love it to be Austin because he's my guy, he's my number one guy. I love the man. I'd love the fact the other Avengers Assemble thing. I think everyone's seen it. Yeah, the old Avengers Assemble stuff. There's part of me that thinks the Bloodline are beating down Cody. Cena comes out, he gets beaten down. Rollins comes out, he gets beaten down. McIntyre comes out and even tries to help, and he gets beaten down. Right, everyone's getting beaten down. The Rock and Roman just laying waste to everyone. And the Rock, you think all hell's breaking, like Cody can't win now, and then the glass shatters. If that happens, I think everyone would lose their shit. Yeah, because Austin Rock one more time, face to face.
Is it mad though that I still think you could get Rock Austin stand down, like the stare down? I still think you can still get it.
I reckon you get it behind the scenes, and they don't get involved in this. I do think it'd be Triple H who saves Cody, and that's how he wins the title. And I think you have a Rock Austin stare down in the hallway, Like they go backstage and you see Rock walk, and then Austin walks by him. And they just look at each other. And they have this
Almost
moment.
like, I'm not letting you go out there. He's like, I'm not letting you go out there.
They have this moment, and the fans can feel it, and everyone thinks it's going to be Austin that saves the day, but it's actually Triple H. Because story-wise, Triple H saving Cody makes perfect sense.
It's also the antithesis as well. The fact is, it's the guy that started his own wrestling company because of said guy, and he wanted away from it all. It'd be quite hilarious. It's not taking a knock on AEW either. It's taking a knock on just Cody. The fact that he thinks he was that top guy, and he's like, "Well, I have to do it by going after the guy who I thought really ruined me." And it'd be quite a hilarious coincidence that same guy's the one that's handed you the title, but then also takes it away from you instantly.
Yeah.
It would be absolutely beautiful if Cody if he wins it, cool. But it'd be so funny if he loses it right on the spot. It would be so funny. And not funny in the sense of like, it'd not be funny in the sense of, like, we laugh it off. It's just funny because there's your hard times, boy.
I just feel that I just feel like Rhodes. It seems like it's too obvious he's going to win the title. Like his mum and wife's going to be there. He's gone through all this adversity. If he was not gone through all this adversity so far, and he was more the aggressor, I would say he's losing at Mania. But because he's literally gone through so much adversity, he got, The Rock did that interview today. I don't know if you see it, and he said this has actually been the plan the whole time. It's been story based. I was never facing Roman. All that things out there that they changed it and all that.
We know Rock was not doing it. He's already said it for a long time.
Rock's put that to bed now. So, but another way I'm looking at it as well is that
you've still got the big.
I think Roman.
One man.
Yeah, I don't know. I also think Roman blames Rock for everything if he loses, and it's the Roman
there's 41,
and that's your face turn. That's your Rock Roman match at 41. Because I think the Rock's made clear of it. This is not the end. This is just the beginning of the story. So I literally think you get Roman Rock at 41, and that doesn't need a title. It just don't need a belt. It don't need. And
also, there will be no Paul Heyman.
No.
And I still think this Sunday is the last, or even the beginning of the end for Paul Heyman associated with that lot. Yeah. This is the end. It has to be the end for him. Not because he doesn't need to be with them anymore. It's fundamentally there's no need. There's no need for it anymore. Because The Rock doesn't need help. The Rock doesn't want help.
No.
Roman needs help. Because it's all about holding on to everything that's important to him. The title and position is important to him. So, of course, Paul Heyman is fundamentally key. Because he keeps everyone in tick with his 2 mobile phones. But in no way, shape, or form does Paul Heyman need to be involved with Roman Reigns post WrestleMania 40. It's time to waver. Braun Breaker's there. Chad Gable's also there, by the way. He's the other name that I was thinking about. And the other one is Gunther. I think it'll be Gunther. But I think the favourite could well be Braun Breaker, funnily enough. That NXT show really summed up for me where he worked really well with him. There's 3 people there for Paul Heyman, but I think it'll be for Braun.
WWE always do things on purpose, and then put in Paul Heyman in his corner. They did it for a reason.
It has to
in NXT. They did it for a reason. They always do things on purpose. The only other thing we got
exactly.
Yeah,
exactly, man.
The only thing we got to think now is what if Roman wins?
Another Jedi account. Here we go. Well,
we got a Sith.
We had a Sith. Now we got a Jedi. What's up, Romeo and Kenobi?
It's a great name. I love Romeo.
It's peak. Romeo one Kenobi is one of the best. I'm pretty sure I heard you say this once. It's the best name on YouTube.
Yeah, I love it. If Roman won, I just don't like. I know everyone's fearing Roman's winning now because Triple H did that interview today. But I think people are reading too much into it. I think he's talking about as Mania as a whole over 2 nights. People go and moan about booking here and there. I just don't. What do you do? Like, no, I'm being honest here. Like, what do you do with the company?
So do I.
What would you do with the company going forward if Roman wins? Because I literally do feel people will be pissed off. It
Cody
will.
retires. Cody
What do you do with
retires,
Cody? Like, who
that's
does
fair.
Cody feud with? Like,
No one. It's over.
it's done, ain't it? So it makes no sense. That's why Cody has to win this match. And yeah, I hope Dustin's there as well, because is he still
You
got
hit
an
that
AEW?
subscribe button, boy. You subscribe that button, boy. Good to see you, buddy.
Has Dustin got an AEW contract still?
He was on there recently, but I don't know the extent of his contract.
Would they let
And
him?
to be
would they let him
to be fair,
on Mania?
look at the videos recently he's been posting.
Yeah, he's all the
That-
fuck your rock stuff and all this, ain't it?
Yeah, like it's an element of it, you know. Like there's a circumstance being.
I think Cody wins, and on Monday he has the Eagle Wing belt, and that's his championship. He uses that belt while
There's
he's
no
champion.
way. I'm gonna say this as well. If Roman wins on Sunday, then I think you've got to make it to make a really good troll moment here. Forget the Money in the Bank cash-in thing, right? I don't think Priest is good enough to be world champion. I don't think he's good enough to be that level. I think he's mid-card champion at best. You've actually got the humour here on Sunday. If Roman wins, then Roman does perhaps one of the ultimate troll moments in WrestleMania. Roman Reigns pulls out the version of the Winged Eagle WWE title and declares himself the WWE champion right in front of Cody's broken body carcass on the mat. Stands above him, foot on the chest. The undisputed Universal title is laying beside him, and in his arm above his head is the WWE title shaped like the Winged Eagle.
Yeah,
You've trolled Cody for life. That's it. He's done. There's no coming back after that. It won't happen, but that actually is the ultimate slap in the face.
I just feel like, Logan. Logan. And Rhea Ripley said today, why does everyone think Priest is only going to cash in on Seth? I think she said that today as well.
We can see it. Yes.
I don't think Roman's. We're not seeing it. We're not seeing Roman till Saudi, and after Saudi, you're not seeing him till SummerSlam. I just wonder what you do. See, I think this is what's going to happen. I think you're going to have 2 bloodlines.
Oh, please no! I can't take.
I think you're going to have The Rock's bloodline and Roman's bloodline, and that's your feud. So
But who are you going to put with? With them though?
So I think we all know who's coming out. I think Tamatonga, and that joined The Rock, right? And that's their bloodline.
No! Don't put Tam with The Rock.
Because Haku is his uncle and all that.
Why are you punishing me? Why are you punishing me?
And what's the other 2 brothers that have won MLW that's quit, and he looks like he's on his way?
Zilla and Joseph Fatu.
So the Fatu brothers, Tamatonga and The Rock would be one bloodline. And then you got Roman and his boys, and I think Jay and Jimmy eventually make up and come back as well. And that's your feud for the rest of the year. Bloodline versus Bloodline, commencing with Rock versus Roman at Mania 41. It makes sense, because what do you do with Roman and all that to get him out of the way with, and just let Cody be Cody now and go with it? Because I think Roman's going to blame The Rock. I think Roman is literally going to blame The Rock. I don't think no one's turning on anyone. I don't think Rock's done all this just to turn on Roman. That wouldn't make sense. But because they could have just had the match anyway. I literally think Roman's going to blame The Rock, and the Roman's going to turn on The Rock, because let's face it, the fans don't want to boo The Rock, do they? So,
nope.
And then The Rock's going to have his bloodline. Roman will have his bloodline. They feud for the year, commencing at Mania 41 with Roman versus Rock. And that's how you get Roman without a title. You know, bloodline's everything to him. yeah, and his bloodline cost him everything. That's the way he's going to look at it. And
See,
then,
I was thinking about this, Abu. See, I was thinking about Rock with Heyman, but then Monday changed everything for me. If you go back and rewind the last 10, 15 minutes before you came in, you'll see why I think there's a different spanner in the works. I think roll me one Kenobi. I do think it's peak to say. Roll me one Kenobi. I do think on Sunday, if Tamatonga does appear, then I'm going to need my blindfold because he is fucking boring.
I think
He is.
Tamatonga turns up on Raw and sides with The Rock. I literally think that's the way it's going to go because it's the only thing I can make sense of. Because Cody's going to go on his own journey now.
He has to.
He's going to be champion. He's going to be champion for a while, go and do his thing. He's feuded with Roman for 2 years now. Roman is going to blame The Rock for costing him his title, right?
Yes.
He's just going to put everything on The Rock, and he's going to say, because Roman's bloodline is everything to him, right? And without that belt, he can't be the tribal chief anymore. He can't be that guy. He's going to blame The Rock for it all. The Rock's going to say it's got nothing to do with me that you lost. It's what, and that's when, and that's where you go after two bloodline factions that go back and forth, and then it commences with Roman and Rock at Mania 41. Because you don't need a belt for it.
I don't think we necessarily need to have two factions, but I think what you do get, though, in a way, though, is you do get certain members leaning towards one side. They don't become a faction; they just lean towards it.
Yeah, or do it like that. It seems like that's the only thing that makes sense out of it, really.
I think you could, though.
Rock will be on Raw. He ain't going to not be on Raw on Monday night.
He doesn't need to be on SmackDown, even though SmackDown's his show. He doesn't need to be on SmackDown at all.
No, he'll be on Raw Monday night, and and
some way, shape, or form, Rock will be on there on Raw, and he will.
Yeah.
He will do what all heels do. He'll make it his way.
I think that's the way. Yeah, I think
that's another way to do it. Yeah, that's another way.
I think that's the way. I think that's the way you do it. And the Rock and Roman don't need to be on the shows. Rock will go away after this, but he'll form his own allegiance, and Roman will have his own allegiance, and them allegiances will go back and forward all year, and argue and fight all year, and then Roman and Rock can come back because Rock's already said he's really going to put time to wrestling again, and come back in and act quite a bit, and they commence at Mania 41. I think that's what you do because. Everyone's always wondered what you do with Roman and the bloodline if they ever lost, and I don't think they just stop being the bloodline. I don't think Roman just goes away. But I don't even think Roman is going to be around that much next year anyway. So
nor do I. I don't either.
So he doesn't need to be champion, and you can just move on. Yeah. So I think that's the way they do it.
I think it's quite an easy question I'm going to ask you. Last time. Main event Sunday.
Yeah, Cody.
Is it Cody or it's Roman?
Yeah, Cody does it. We have all the fireworks, the pyro, the tears. Cody will be crying his eyes out, we know. And and Seth will come down at the end of it, and we'll have the Eddie and Benoit moment at Mania 40 between Seth and Cody. Double champions.
Yeah. And Abu also says Cody to win. Now, your prediction was Cody wins the title.
Mm-hmm.
Ailey says Cody wins the title. Connor says Cody wins. Dad says Cody wins by DQ. Romy One Kenobi says DDP to walk Pharaoh to the ring and hit a diamond cutter. Fuck me, that would be insane. That would be insane. Kindest man, and I would say one of the kindest men in wrestling is definitely DDP. And if you don't believe it, just ask. Well, I would say ask Scott Hall, but that's harsh. Ask
kindest man, full stop. Kindest man, full stop.
Yeah, I'm a proud Cody crybaby. No lie, says Romy One Kenobi.
Yeah, same here, man. Same here.
Well, just for you, Romy One Kenobi. And I believe this is yours. We've been talking about Star Wars tonight, and it's actually quite fitting that we're all Star Wars fans here. So, Romy One Kenobi. This was probably lost in a battle. So this is for you. Roll me one, Kenobi. I present your lightsaber with great logic. That is one way to fire into a show, and absolutely, Jace. Absolutely. Star Wars is peak. You're just Darth bitch. Siths are cool, Jedi's quality, but there you go. You acknowledge me.
Do you
Guys,
know what Drew McIntyre just said? He said, if you don't know the superstars, please don't call them by their government name.
fuck me. I will never see this. I will never see a version of this title again as the WWE title. But not gonna lie, everyone loves the Winged Eagle. This is the title I grew up on. Like WWE title wise, this is the one I want to see make a return.
I think Cody uses that belt. I think that's what happens.
I think he'll use the other one, the Winged Eagle that was before it. And
the Hogan one, the little one. Yeah,
that's the one. I think if Rock was WWE champion, he would make that effort to make that return.
Yeah,
that's what. That's what.
Michael Cole. Michael Cole literally just announced on the WrestleMania kickoff tonight that it'll be him, Pat McAfee, and Corey Graves doing commentary for both nights.
Oh, Corey Graves! Oh, someone just tell him that he's crap and sack him. I grew up in Big Gold. That was my levels. Big Gold is one of my favorite ever titles. That is the best World Championship design of all time.
So they got this. They got this thing right now. WWE got the kickoff thing happening right now, and it's bloody great. I
hate kickoffs. I hate it.
There's this great. I've got to go and watch it in a minute. There's this great promo between Seth and it's all. Look. Seth and
that's surely the press conference then.
Yeah, this is live right now. This is live right now.
Oh, nice. Possible swerve to screw Drew over against Seth. Yep. And also roll me one, Kenobi. We also
said that earlier. Yeah,
we said the same thing. Guys, this has been an absolute fucking pleasure. It is 3 hours, 2 minutes, 25 seconds into this stream, and it has not felt like it. It hasn't. This still feels like the first hour. I'm not even going to joke. It feels like the first hour. It's been an absolute brilliant preview show. We've maintained a consistent audience of about 35 to 38 people all night. Which I will say for the show, for the channel, I'm proud because I'm not in it for numbers. I love the entertainment. I love just talking wrestling. But if you get a good audience, end of the day, that means you've done something right. Ailey, I wish you were here tonight. You would have loved this show. I wish you were here. Your prediction videos were brilliant. Thank you for sending them across. It'll be good to see you on the review show because Jamie's going to be there as well. Jamie, your channel.
They just broke news of saying that apparently Roman is taking a lot of time off after Mania. So I think our predictions are Cody winning.
Yep. No surprise there. No surprise there. Roll me one, Kenobi. Thank you so much. I also do wrestling game streams as well, so check them out as well. Thank you very much. And this comment as well. Genuinely, I appreciate that from you as well, Jace. Jamie, it has been a pleasure. It's been a while since I've seen you. You were on the Rumble preview. You're just going to be my big five guy on the preview for these shows. Like you, obviously Ailey as well. But in terms of the big five pay-per-views and any other one you want, you're all in.
Man.
But
yeah, I love it.
First of all, it's been an absolute pleasure tonight, mate. Have you enjoyed yourself? And also, can you please, for everyone that doesn't know you, if they don't know you, shout out your socials.
Yeah, so you can follow me at Jamie Phillips Football Chats on YouTube and Jamie Chats FC on Twitter, guys. Yeah, check me up over there. I've enjoyed it, man. I've had a blast, but I'll tell you what, I'm starving.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. And he does look a little bit like Pat McAfee, actually. He does. Except he's a bit more entertaining, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, someone said I look like Stipe Miocic the other day as well, so. The UFC heavyweight. Yeah, because I have my glasses on.
I'm saying nothing, mate.
You see it now, don't you? You see it now, don't you?
I'm just saying nothing. What do I think of WWE 2K24? I think the game's okay. I think there's some aspects where it could be a little bit better. I think they let themselves down with not the showcase, the My Rise. I think they let themselves down with the men's side. I think they let it down just a little bit. I think they were better this year for the women than they were last year, and the men's story last year was better than the women. They flipped it this year, which is seriously funny. I don't know if that was done on purpose, but I think that's an issue. As for the rest of the game, I think the gameplay is good. The ambulance match is fun. The fact that they've brought back some old match concepts is actually beneficial, and it's great to see that again. But roll on the classics. Roll me one Kenobi. WWE 2K24 was moving like a Vince NDA for me on release. Buggy as fuck. Yeah, it was so fucking bad. Jace, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I'm not going to be speaking to Jamie for a while, and it's not because of wrestling. Obviously, I will see him for the review
Sunday.
show, but
Sunday.
yeah, Sunday's different. For a different Sunday has another thing going on. Obviously, it's my mum's birthday, so for my mum, obviously, have a happy birthday for Sunday. You're not
Great weekend coming up. Great weekend.
Yeah. Thanks very much, Jace. As you can tell, I'm sorry for all the new subscribers if you're a certain football fan. I'm a Man United fan. So, Sunday is big, not just for WrestleMania. Sunday is big for wrestling. This weekend is big for wrestling in general. But Sunday's also big for the biggest game in football. And I'm hoping for another win, but I don't know. I'm bricking Sunday for that. But night 2, I don't know if I'm going to do a night 2 watch along, just because I literally have work on Monday. I think I will be physically dead, but I think I might be able to do a watch along for night 1. I think I'll be able to do a watch along for night 1. We'll see. But night 2, I doubt I'll have it. I don't know, unless I go to sleep early and wake up and go for it. I don't know. There's only one red on this channel that's worth it, and it's United. I got to stick with the homes. I got it, but that's just rivalry. United, good luck to my beloved club. 3 points, but I'm bricking it. We're all bricking it, mate, because this is where it really comes down to it. But the cup game was fucking special. The cup game was special on all rounds. But it has been a pleasure to everyone that's watched. 3 hours, 7 minutes. I honestly mean it, and I'm going to say it now. Don't worry, Jamie will be involved in any show he wants. I've always said it. You behave. I'm just gonna go right back to the very start, because this is what this channel means to me. This podcast is 3 years in November. She was here for one comment, but she's literally one of the best human beings I know, and generally kind as fuck. Rach 803, thank you very much. First comment. Then myself, of course, I had to reply. Daz 804, thank you very much. You've been in for the very beginning. Tyler as well, I look forward to being on your channel very soon. Thank you. Danny, you were here making comments. Mike, awesome, thank you very much. Malo, consistent as always in the channel. Ravi, good to see you, mate. Raycom is here as well. Connor the Red, thanks very much. Coming across from Jamie's channel, you were excellent. Rajat, lovely. Roll me one Kenobi, you've made my night with the fucking best YouTube name of all time. Genuinely. Jace, thank you, all of that. Nightly LFC, Niall as well, your comments. Justin, everybody that's been here tonight, honestly, thanks very much. And Abul, he makes a new channel just to come back to me. See, the man can't keep away. He can't keep away. Thanks very much, everybody that's watched. Please do like, share, and subscribe to the Weekly Steel Chair. Check out Jamie's channel as well. I'm not a Liverpool fan. I never fucking will be. But Jamie's a good mate of mine. I always check out, mate, for my mates on YouTube want to do well. So all the best for you, mate, because your YouTube content is killing it right now. So fair play.
Appreciate it.
Jack GRM, hello there. Good to see you. WrestleMania is tomorrow at
24 hours.
Yep, literally 24 hours away. So we're that close to WrestleMania. We're that close. And thanks, Jace. To all that's watched, if you didn't see the intro at the very start, it's also the outro. You're going to love this. Thanks all. I will hopefully see you tomorrow. But in the meantime, it's a bye from us. Enjoy your WrestleMania. And that is the bottom line. Because the great one said so.